we may be live. That could be a possibility. So far, it looks like we're registering. So I'm going to keep this party moving. Chat, if you can't see us or hear us for some reason. One, send thoughts and prayers. And two, welcome to the Symphony. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Symphony. Symphony Entertainment, Gaming, and Arts is my gaming company that focuses on horror systems, indie games, organic content, and player agency in an attempt to bring a symphonic approach to horror role-playing. I am your host, Bridgett Jeffries, but tonight, I am not your GM because we have, well, longtime friend, but first time streaming on the Symphony. We have GM Andy that is bringing an original creation that he wrote for Things from the Flood titled A Shepherd's Burden. So I'm going to talk about Andy like he's not in the room real fast and just embarrass him so we can all get it over with right now. So Carl, one of our asset daddies over at Symphony, raved nonstop about this game. Like, oh my goodness, this is perfect for the Symphony. It leans into the emotional horror. It leans into the cerebral, surreal horror. And Andy does an amazing job telling this story. We got to get him on. I love Carl. Carl tells amazing stories, and Carl is one of my closest friends. I was like, okay, let's get Andy on and let's do it. And this is literally how we got here right now. So Andy, if you're wondering why I chased you down and you didn't know, it's because Carl says beautiful things about you behind your back. Unlike all the horrible things that I say behind Nate's back. And also directly to Nate's face.
Behind my back? It's never behind my back. It's right to my face.
It's both, baby. It's both. It's both. So before we get into the game, we only have one quick announcement for tonight, and that's that Symphony Entertainment does have a Patreon. So if you like this content and you would like to help us make more of it, please consider backing us on Patreon at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Tiers are spilled out with everything from free product, signed books, playtest opportunities, streaming opportunities, writing opportunities, additional content that comes like the player talkbacks and things of that nature. So again, if you like us, you love us, you want us to do more of it, please consider backing us on Patreon because 2024 is a struggle and we're all broke. Content warnings have been discussed with the cast and crew. The X card is in play. X's again can be done visibly where Andy can see it, or they can be sent in our Zoom chat where he can see it. The other safety tool that we mandate here at the Symphony is the green, yellow, red traffic light method. If a safety tool is activated, there are no questions asked. There is no judgment passed. We're here to tell safe, horrific stories. And that starts with us looking after each other and most importantly, looking after ourselves. Content warnings for the viewers: identity crisis, alcoholism, bullying. Now, I can't speak for the rest of the characters at the table, but I read my backstory and I was like, oh, there may be some additional content warnings based on the PCs that the players have chosen. I can't upfront those on the stream because I haven't read everyone else's backstories, but for the YouTube or if you're watching the replay, look in the comment description at the top and I'll have those additional content warnings for you. So, without further ado, guys, let us unveil this cast. Cast members, please, because 3 of you guys are new here for streaming, so we definitely want to meet you. Cast members, please introduce yourselves. Tell us who you are, where people can find you, some of the things that you do, and Symphony always surprises cast with a pop-up question that I usually come up with on the spot. This time I actually did think of a question ahead of time. We are playing a game called Things from the Flood. So your pop-up question after you tell us who you are, the things that you do, where people can find you is, what lurks in your periphery as a player that scares you? What lurks in your periphery as a player that scares you? Nate, you're up first, baby. You know how this works.
As a player, what lurks in your Damn, Bridgett.
I know. I took my time on that one. See what happens when I actually plan on shit.
I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it. Hey, I'm Nate, your friend Nate on Discord's Bridgett's favorite Nate of all time, everyone's favorite lake monster. Here again on the Symphony. Thank you. Very excited to play some 1990s teenage drama. I graduated high school 1993, so I get to go back to this lovely time of Jordache Gap, bum equipment, and all that good stuff. We were talking about Sally Jesse before. We were talking about Geraldo, all that good TV entertainment. So Tales from the Loop was one of my first non-mainstream games I ran at a con. So in Things from the Flood, I'm very excited to actually play. I've run it once. It's very similar sort of system-wise, but man, does it have some juicy bits that I'm very excited to get into. So thank you, Andy, for running this. I'm very excited to see what we're going to get into. A couple of projects. Please check out, if you're into Delta Green, please check out an actual play that I'm in, Impossible Landscapes, that we have been running over at the Old Ways podcast. There's quite a few episodes out there. We've gotten through a couple sections already. We're right now in the middle of a little side adventure involving well, I don't want to spoil it. So let's just say some undead animals leading us off into some adventures off in Idaho. I play Agent Elliot Winters of OCEL, and all of the agents, our lives are hell because we are deep into the Impossible Landscapes bit, and that's what happens to the agents there. And also check out, I've got a podcast with my TTRPG BFF, Miranda. You know how I had to practice that TTRPG BFF. I mean, I'm pretty excited that I got it out.
You stuck the landing on the first try, baby. I'm so proud of you. You're just daddy vibes. Look at you.
Oh man, I've got that Michigan edibles in me, and I can't believe I actually got it out. But here we go. So Miranda, don't stop me now on the Discords as well. It's called Roll Better. And so it's not an actual play podcast. It's a podcast about actually playing. And so it's on Apple Podcasts and all these other places. We talk about how to have more fun, how to engage and be more engaging, and how to play more fun games from our standpoint of what makes games fun, which is playing with other people and role playing and diving into tough topics. And we just recorded a episode on heightening and raising stakes and tension. So that'll be out next. And it's a pretty good time. Bridgett, love your vest. Thank you.
It's very 90s, right? I'm here for you, babe. You like the hair too? I did it for you.
The hair, I liked it unchained without the headphones, but I mean, even with a little bit of restriction there, it is epic. What lurks in my periphery
that scares
as a player?
Yeah,
that scares me. I'm going to go sort of literal with this. There's an item in the background of that you can sort of see is over here, which is I think it's a tiki statue or whatever, but it was not a tiki statue necessarily bought. My wife bought that for me because I make that same face a lot. And so my mouth will, when I'm frowning, make the exact same curve as this tiki thing. It used to be in our dining room. At one point, she's like, we got to get this out of the dining room. And so I put it up here, and every so often I will be frowning and maybe in concentration. I can't control my face. It's a little bit wild. And I'll notice that I'm making that face, and then I will notice out of the corner of my eye, the periphery, the damn statue's making the
face back at you
because I frown the same way it does. So, and that sort of scares me in the fact that maybe that's what I am, just a stone face golem reanimated in 2024 to live out this hellish existence. Anyway, let's have some fun.
Fuzzy. Nate, oh God, I love to hate you every moment of every day. Oh, I love it. Hello, baby. Welcome back. You were just here for the Symphony Lounge, but this is your very first time performing with us. So super stoked. Baby, hit us. Tell us who you are, what you do, where people can find you, and what you as a player, what lurks in your periphery that scares you.
All right, yeah. So I'm Hollow. You can find me on Blue Sky and that other place that definitely is totally Twitter, because we're gonna dead name the hell out of it forever. You can find me at Hollow Invective there. Also, I guess on TikTok, I've got like 2 videos, and they're stitches, and they ain't really about nothing. I just like riffing on other people's stuff. Let's see here. I am finishing up a run of the new 9 Fox Gambit RPG on channel Other Doc over on Twitch on Tuesdays. That is a terribly dark game about a hegemony that is done through the use of calendars. So, think about, your holy days, your birthdays, what day of the week it is, whatever it is. Those things are controlled by the Empire, and and that is how your life is dictated. But also, it gives you all your creature comfort. So trying to buck against it means that you don't want to have fresh running water. So.
Oh, that escalated quickly. Okay, that sounds delicious.
I run terribly dark games when I do. I run Cult. I'll run this. I'll run anything that somebody would consider messed up, I'm ready to run it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And babe, what lurks in your periphery that scares you?
So I can relate with some of the characters here. Like some of the characters in this particular run we're going to do. I, growing up, was in foster care. So this whole big world of adults that don't, that are may or may not be present in your life, and an uncaring world. But the thing that lurks in my periphery from that time is a shared memory.
Oh,
Because when you went to someone's house, and a home had an entire nexus of shared memories, in jokes, in jokes, family things, whatever, pictures. So, uh, that still bothers me just a little bit. Not like with my friends, but like if I have to like interact with like someone's like family, it's like, here we go again. So that's me.
ooh.
That was
Okay.
deep.
I was about to say everyone is doubling down on this on the unsettling already. Wow. Oh God, Jesus, hello. That was deep. Oh gosh, Victoria, baby, love of my life. Tell us who you are, where people can find you, the things that you do, and what scares you that lurks in your periphery.
All right, let's go. I'm Victoria Reve. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Linktree, Blue Sky, Snapchat, and a milk carton, most likely. Um, I am what I like to dub a professional NPC. I sing, I dance, I do quick changes, and I love all things dark and mysterious because why not? Um, let's see. I am an avid LARPer, been LARPing since 2002 when I used to do fantasy boffer LARP. Yes, I am that girl that still has those boffer weapons, have done Dystopia Rising. Um, you have seen me most likely in a whole bunch of Vampire Masquerade things. I used to write for By Night Studios. Probably see me at Grand Masquerade if you're in that world. And just like a lot of people here, just came out of Darkness Emergent, Las Vegas. I am from Las Vegas, or I live in Las Vegas. I'm a Cali girl, actually, which you'll probably hear in my tone for Rebecca. Sorry. Um, apologize in advance. And most of what I do right now is just stalk and follow By Night Studios and tell you all the things about the world of horror because I feel like I have to inform you all. Somebody has to jump on that grenade. Um, I also extremely push for diversity inclusion in the LARPing space, whether it's tabletop, live action, what have you. That is what you will see for most of my things. Coming up, my projects, I am going to host in the beginning of 2025 diversity inclusion workshops for both players and storytellers, people that are coming from the TTRPG world into LARP and going LARP from TTRPG, just like myself. There's going to be workshops about managing bleed for new people, the differences of managing bleed in this setting versus LARP. Same for storytellers, how to help facilitate that bleed and how to manage your own bleed because bleed for storytellers do happen. It is a very real thing. We're going to talk about how to build your characters, how to embrace communities like this fabulous one that I have met here. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And also how to police your own community because we have to, because we're a bunch of nerds and we already get it enough. So, with that said, the other project I'm doing in 2025, I am going to be running a 3-day, 2-day LARP, if I can pull it off, called The Revenge of Carthage. And it's going to be focusing on the intersections of Africa, Asia, and the Mediterranean, sorry, and what happens after Carthage about 400 to 500 years later. So stay tuned because I will need some help with that. I'm putting that out there now.
Holy cow! Lick that plate clean. Damn.
Yep. Lastly, I want to give a shout out to my vampire LARPing group in Las Vegas, Desert of Shadows. We are the ones that put those fantastic videos together for Darkness Emergent. You can find us on Facebook, Desert of Shadows. We have our merch. We are a fabulous group and we are super inclusive. So find us if you need a home and just want to have some fun. Things that lurk in the background for me. So this game is hitting home like a double-edged sword because I am playing a teenager. I am playing, well, you'll meet her in a little bit. I'm not going to give too much away. But I have a teenage daughter who's literally a sophomore going into junior year. And I'm not going to say she acts like some of these characters, but she acts like some of these characters. So I'm seeing, the thing that makes me afraid is I'm seeing my own inner child and all the stuff I went through, face smacked with my twin, because she looks literally just like me, going through the exact same thing. So I will have all kinds of feels, but I am here for it. Thank you, Andy, for running this. Thank you, Symphony, for having me. I'm here for it, and you'll see me again.
Ooh, okay, so everyone doubled down on this one. Okay, got it. All right, everyone understood the assignment apparently. Holy shit. Andy, baby, last but totally not least, you know this drill. Tell us who you are, where people can find you, the things you do, and then what lurks in your periphery that scares you.
Not a problem. Hey guys, I am Andy. You can't really find me anywhere. I am not on the socials. I never got into that world, and I'm probably actually glad for that.
Yeah, you should be.
I am on Discord. You can find me as Star Slayer on Discord if you're looking for that. But mostly what I do, I am the con goer. I am the con group coordinator for Matinee Adventures. We are a role-playing GMing group that runs games at Origins Game Fair and Yukon up in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Those are our two major conventions. So I am now adding professional cat wrangler to my resume for doing all of that. We will have 52 games at Origins Game Fair 2025. I managed to get a bunch of our
shit, babe.
I got a bunch of our GMs to come back. I got a couple of new GMs added to the schedule. We are going to be running our butts off. I got 5 games in each slot, save for like 2. So I am very happy that we are kind of back in where we were pre-COVID days.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but it's really definitely worth it. You can also find me streaming generally on Wednesday nights over on the Untold Stories project. We've had Bridgett on to run one of her Cthulhu games, but generally we are a Green Ronin shop. One of our producer / director is Alex, and he is the line developer for Mutants and Masterminds. So we run a lot of that stuff over there. So I get to play superheroes on a relatively regular basis. Let's see, what else was the questions here?
Yeah, that periphery question. And right now, it's really unsettling across the board. You don't have to hit that mark, but Jesus, it's unsettling across the board.
I don't know that I can hit that, but so as a player, I get really, it's giving up control. Giving up and being able to be like, I'm not going to meta this. I am going to play as my character. I'm going to give up the control that I have of my person, knowing that this is not the scenario that I would ever go for, and just jumping whole hog. That is one of those things that's like I can't quite, I don't want to. It's uncomfortable. I'm going to fight myself, and I'm going to do it anyway.
Woo! And you
That's
said
real.
You couldn't hit that mark. That is super real. That's fucking real. Whoa. Okay. Hello, Victoria. That guy Nate that keeps ending up somewhere on my radar for reasons I can't explain. And Andy, thank you for your introductions. Thank you for playing. Thank you for being here. I am officially out of your way. Andy, the stage is yours.
Wait. I hate to interrupt, but Bridgett, what the hell lurks in the periphery of your vision?
That's a good one.
Come on.
Come on, don't leave us.
See, that's the beautiful thing about being a host is I can tee this shit up for you guys and then just walk away What lurks in my periphery right now that scares me? Part of the reason that this question actually populated when I was thinking of like the pop-up question for you guys is the last 3 days I keep having weird shit happening in my periphery that keeps making me feel really unsettled. So I was in bed yesterday LARPing on my phone, and I heard a woman that I didn't recognize call my name. It was just like, Bridgett. So I sat up in bed and I looked around and I checked my Ring doorbell and there was nobody outside. I looked out of a window, nobody was outside, but I swear somebody in the house called my name. It was like, Bridgett. And that was weird. Now, the very next day, I'm leaving my bedroom and I see a woman walk past just like the frame of my door. So like she just walked past and I looked and I was just like, what the fuck is happening right now? So I didn't go and look in the other room to verify that nobody was there because the dogs are in the house. Like if there was something here, I would know that something was in the house. And then, of course, I'm leaving. It's always out of the bedroom. I don't know what's going on with my bedroom. And so then I'm leaving my bedroom the other day and I see something move downstairs. So I'm just like, maybe I've got some weird vision thing happening where I've got, I don't know, something, I don't know. But what lurks in your periphery that scares you, that's what's been bothering me. So that was why I teed it up to you guys. The last 3 days, like shit is happening in my periphery. Like I literally hear people calling my name or I see stuff moving past me. That's where I'm at. So
See, that's a hard no and assault around the house.
oh yeah. Just I don't. It's just it's strangest thing. I think it would be worse if I recognized a woman that calls my
It's
name.
probably fine. I
Did
wouldn't
you
worry
ask
about
the
it.
ghost if they're single?
So
That's so wrong. So wrong.
oh my
Hey,
god, I
I
love
mean,
it.
look.
I love it. Like, hey, you single? You trying to? I'm just saying. Listen, make my asexual day. Andy, the stage is yours.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. As Bridget said, this adventure is called The Shepherd's Burden. You all, Dustin, Rebecca, Eric, and Maggie, you are all high school. You are all going to be high school seniors. You all live in Colorado Springs, Colorado, outside of Pikes Peak. It is August, September time frame of 1997. And it is the night before the senior trip. There's a senior trip that goes about 3 hours west of the city, out past Pikes Peak to a campground. Happens every year. It's kind of that last hurrah, end of the summer, get back with your peers from school, kind of get back into that mode and be ready to start school the following Monday. So, with that said, it is that night before the trip is supposed to head out. We will start with Dustin. What are you doing the night before to prep and or get ready for this trip? Are you prepping? Are you not prepping? Are you just kind of hanging around?
So, in very typical teenager fashion, I definitely did not get my permission slip signed on time, and the administrators have probably been kind enough to say if you just get it signed, but my mom's probably not home.
Currently, your mom is probably still out at work at the salon. Yes.
Yep. So I am I am rummaging through her things looking for something she signed, trying to like get it done because like I need to get this signed or I can't go anywhere.
Right. You are rifling through her papers. You are going through her things. You find some past due bills. You see some things that are probably, things that she's told you not to worry about, but you probably still are. Especially when you find that it's like third notice, final notice, that kind of thing. You do notice that a couple of things appear to be, you're rifling through, you do see some medical paperwork. It doesn't necessarily look like it's hers per se, but
Mm.
it's medical jargon that you don't quite have an understanding about.
Um, there's only a brief moment where I try to read it and it's like the words are jumping like around the page for me. It's too much, and I just kind of like I put it down. Like I'm interested, but like not interested at the same time, and I really need to get this other thing done. And in my frustration, like I'm not finding anything. I just scribble on the paper myself anyway. Like who's gonna know?
Who's gonna know?
Who's gonna
All right.
fucking know? Because
Yep.
like
So you are gonna go ahead. You are going to forge that signature for your mom's. Probably not a big deal, right? You're not gonna get in trouble. Not gonna, what are they gonna do? Hold you back another year?
yeah, fuck 'em.
All right. Are you doing anything else once you've gotten that done? Are you heading up to your room? Are you heading out into the city?
I'm gonna go out and link up with somebody. Like, I got the thing done, and mom's not gonna be home. She's never fucking home. So, you know, I gotta go. I gotta go down to the restaurant see if I can get some dinner. Off of a good friend of mine.
Off of a good friend of yours. That
Yeah,
would be Mr. Jimmy Yu Wuhan, the
yeah,
restaurateur.
yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and head down. He sees you come in, he waves you to the back. He's like, "You're not in for your shift today, right? You're just you hungry? You need something? You need something to
Yeah.
eat?"
I dance around the entire time. Like, I mean, I just kind of
You
can't.
sit you sit down over here. You sit down over here. We take care of you, Dustin. No problem. No
Uh,
problem.
all right, Mr. Lee. All right, Mr. Yu.
He leads you over to a table, and sitting at that table is a girl that you recognize. Her name is Lily, and she is part of the crew that you have sort of allied yourself with in the past couple of years. She's sitting there. She's got a meal in front of her, kind of picked at. She looks a little forlorn.
Mm.
Oh, shit. Hey, Lily, how's it
Oh,
going?
hey, Dustin. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. You gonna eat that?
Uh, Not all of it. Do you want some?
No, never mind. I was just asking. 'Cause,
No, it's okay. You could have some.
only if you want.
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right, fine. If you're gonna push it on me, jeez.
Well, yes. She giggles a little bit and takes a fork and gets her noodles. She doesn't go for the chopsticks.
Can't teach people anything.
No. She so a couple of minutes of awkward silence will pass before Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
brings out some spring rolls and something else for you, something warm, something hot. Um, and Lily tucks her hair behind her ear and kind of looks at you and says, "So are you ready for the trip tomorrow? Kind of not looking forward to it."
Oh yeah, I'm ready for that trip. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be good.
Really?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's gonna be
uh,
good.
so this is a really big thing for the school and the seniors, huh? I mean, you've been, I transferred in the middle of the year, and well, everything's been kind of weird for a bit.
So just want to check with Andy. Is this my second time on the trip? How many times have
You
I?
haven't you have not been on the senior trip yet.
Okay.
This is my 7th time doing the senior trip. Just checking.
For the
Double check.
audience, Dustin was held back 1 year. 1 year, and it was not his senior year.
All right. Well, I mean, like everybody talks about it, so it must be good. And you know, you're gonna. I mean, you're gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's
Yeah,
gonna be good.
I know. I mean, Maggie and Rebecca. When she says Rebecca's name, she kind of gets that clouded, like furrowed brow, a little bit, like, did I cause issues? Look, and Eric, like, I know you're all gonna be there, right? And we're friends. I just, I don't know, something doesn't sit right with me for some reason.
Uh, Look, you can't worry about everything. That you can't have a handle on. I guess. Mr. Wan tells me all the time, like, don't worry about it if you can't deal with it right now. You just gotta um, just take it as it comes. That's what he says. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I'll try. And you guys will probably pass a few hour or like another hour or so, just kind of chit-chatting back and forth at the restaurant before you'll head home.
All right.
Okay. Let's go to Rebecca. What are you doing the night before the senior trip?
Well, since I'm forced to be out in nature, one of the first things I have to do is make sure I have all of my necessary accessories, my Calvin Klein, my Jimmy Choos, my hairbrush, because I can't be caught dead looking basic. So I will make sure I start packing.
How many bags do you believe that you will end up with?
I'm taking just the essentials, so I'll probably have about 5 bags.
That is about the same number I've gotten in the past, yes.
No.
So you're at home, you're going through your stuff, you're probably rifling through your ridiculously oversized closet. Not quite walk in because it's the 90s, but definitely a double at the very least. And there's that knock at your door, and your mom and all her blonde bombshell goodness kind of sneaks her head in and says, "Hey, honey, how are you doing tonight?"
I'm doing fine, Mom. What do you need?
"Oh, I'm just checking and making sure that we're getting ready for the school trip tomorrow, right? I mean, that's what's happening tomorrow.
Yes, Mom, the trip's tomorrow. I'm getting everything ready. I'm making sure I look fabulous as always.
Oh, you do. Oh, you always do such a good job, honey. I am so proud of you. Do you think are you are you gonna see Jessica and Andrea and what was her other name?
It's irrelevant, Mom. Yes, I'm pretty sure they'll be there too as their seniors. I'm not too concerned. They can't really function without me anyway.
Oh, 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 so you're still hanging around with them? I thought you'd kind of dropped that side of your social circle.
I'm not hanging with them anymore. It's whatever, Mom. They're just so basic, and I don't need to hang out with them anymore.
Oh, okay. I just know that they were your friends for a really long time, and I don't want you to go into senior year and regret anything, honey.
Mm.
I'm perfectly fine. I have other friends. They were just my followers, my lackeys. It's perfectly fine, Mom. I'm really busy. I got to get my hair done. I got to get a mani pedi. I really can't talk right now.
Oh, okay, okay. That's yeah, no problem, dear. Your father and I are going downstairs. We won't be here tomorrow morning before you leave. We have she kind of gets that she gets a look in her eyes. She kind of looks a little bit far away, kind of she wrinkles her brow, which you never see her do. She always tries to
Mm.
keep that look on her face to keep her skin smooth and youthful. We've got a client we have to see in the morning early, so we won't be here when you leave.
Okay, whatever, Mom. Are things good? Like, we're not
Uh,
gonna have issues, right?
no, we won't have any issues, honey. It's not a problem. Don't worry about it. Your father and I will take care of everything.
Have you seen my bag?
Which one, dear?
The purple one with like the glitter on it?
I I think you left it downstairs at the kitchen table.
Can you get it for me, please? I don't want to go downstairs.
Okay, fine. I can do that for you.
Thanks, Mom.
And
Bye.
she will turn and she will walk away, leaving you to finish your packing. Once you finish your packing, what are you going to do?
She is going to get out of there so fast to not be nagged anymore. And she will actually go get her nails and hair done. She
Okay.
has to look her best.
You will head to the salon and you will run into Dustin's mom, who works there.
Mm.
And she will take you back and say, "Hey, it's good to see you, Rebecca. It's a little late for a session, but I've got time. What do you need?"
Hi, Miss Chester. I need to have my nails done. And I need a pedicure and maybe some highlights, but is there a way, and she looks around, that we can kind of do like a discount?
She looks around to see if anybody's paying attention. Don't worry, honey. We can work something out. It's not a big deal. Come on,
Thanks.
let's head into the back. You can tell me all about what's bothering you.
Mm.
Thanks.
And so you guys will head into the back. She will obviously, get your feet soaking, start doing your nails, and it will be girl talk for a good bit.
Girl talk.
All right. Eric, we'll head over to you. What are you doing the night before the senior class trip?
I'm packed. How many days is this trip?
It's another overnight, so it's basically Saturday, Sunday.
All right. So I've got 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of underwear. I've got 1 extra pair of jeans. I've got my jean jacket. I've got my denim shirt. I've got my snapback, whatever we called a snapback in 1997. Maybe we still called it a snapback. That's all in my backpack. What were our Jans? It's all in my JanSport. And I'm at Penrose. I'm at Penrose Hospital because I'm going to say goodbye and wish my mom well while I go on this overnight. And also, I'm going to visit my brother.
Okay. Yeah, you head into the hospital. It's not a very busy time of the night. It's a little bit later in the evening, so it's getting to the end of visiting hours, so most people are heading out. But you head on up to the coma ward where your brother Daisuke has been for a very, very long time, unfortunately. When you head into the room, you see your mom. She is sitting there. She is wearing her nurse scrubs. Looks like she's probably not off shift yet, but she's almost off shift, and some of the others are covering for her. She's holding Daisuke's hand. There are flowers around the room, and she seems to be talking to him, um, in a native tongue.
So I'll walk in. I'll see the lights are dim, a lot of shadow, and I'll just stop at the door and sort of take in the scene. It's the same scene I've seen most nights that I've ever visited the hospital for years and most of my life, all of my life that I really remember.
Yep.
And when it doesn't change, I'll go in. She's probably in her same chair that she's always in. The chair's like basically molded now to her shape. And I'm looking at that. And for a moment, I think, well, senior year, I have 1 more year. And then I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do. And if I can do, I don't know if I can leave.
Oof.
I don't know if I can leave her. I don't know if I can. And very briefly, I think about the application packet that I have filled out and is ready and waiting, and my grades and I've already got a letter of recommendation, but I don't know if I'm going to send it out. I don't know if I can send it out. This might be it. Daisuke can't leave that bed. I might not be able to leave Colorado Springs. And all that goes through me for a bit. And I'm going to assume mom doesn't really acknowledge or notice, so I'll sit down next to her.
Yeah, until you sit down next to her, there's really no motion from her that acknowledges your presence in the room. But when you sit down and you pull that chair forward, that second chair forward just a little bit, and it does that as it scratches against the linoleum floor, she will put her other hand down and she'll put it right on your knee and she'll give it a squeeze, and she will just kind of acknowledge the fact that you're there, and then her hand will go back to Daisuke's and give it a squeeze again. It'll be a few minutes of basically just her continuing her vigil, and then you'll see her wipe a tear out of her eyes, and she'll turn to you and she will say, "Hi, honey."
Hey, mom. Just remember I'm going to be gone. I'm going on the senior trip, so I won't be home tomorrow.
Is it that time already?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Dad signed the
Permission
form, so yeah, I'm all packed. I'm all ready. I've got some money. I've got everything. Everything's taken care of. Don't worry about anything. I've got it all handled, Mom.
8:30 tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll catch your ride. Don't worry about it. I'll catch your ride if you're still at the hospital. Don't.
No, I switched shifts with someone. I have to be in early tomorrow. I'm sorry, honey.
And I will nod in the same way I've nodded to that news hundreds of times.
Ugh.
17 years old. And have you talked to Dad at all today? I haven't seen him. He wasn't at home when I was packing.
No, I know he had a I know he had a meeting with Caird. uh, PR stuff. I think they're supposed to be rolling out some new product or something like that. I think he and the rest of the PR team we're probably going to be working overtime. That probably would explain why he hasn't been home. He didn't mention it, did he?
Mm.
That's
I
it's fine. It's fine.
I know so much of their stuff seems to be it's kept on the down low. I mean, a lot of their technology, it's been groundbreaking stuff that they've done. And she looks at Daisuke when she says that, and then looks back to you. Just
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It feels like they should be able to do something
I'm
someday.
I would hope I'm really hoping that that's the case.
Hmm.
But you should go. If you've got the trip tomorrow, get a good night's sleep. Don't get into too much trouble.
Okay. I I made spaghetti and I put it in the fridge. So if you come home and are hungry, and I left out some for Dad too. So if he comes home,
Yeah, the
if anyone
Italian
comes home,
noodles. And you get a rare smile out of her.
you know, I get it at school and I really like it. But mostly it's easy. It's easy for me to make. So if anyone comes home with
Yeah.
me tonight, then maybe that's fine. And then I'm going to walk over to my brother and I will gently sort of grab his underneath his knee
Mm-hmm.
and just a moment, and I can feel the thinness, the brittleness, the undernourished, the malformed, the no muscle, no strength of his leg. And there is a I turn my face away. There's a brief moment of just rage.
Mm.
And I have to stop myself from squeezing as hard as I can. And I shake it up. Mom, I love you. And I'll have a great time. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Okay, honey. I'll uh, I'll see you when you get back, most likely. And you exit the room to the intermittent beep, beep of
Mm.
the heart monitor. Where are you headed after that?
I am headed Colorado. So I'm headed whatever the downtown area might be, and I'm walking because after every single one of these, I have to. A walk helps,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to get over. I'm so sick and tired of her being so sad about this situation. Still, it's been 10 years, 15 years, but I feel so guilty about that. And so I take that walk downtown to get over it. And I'm going to see if I can track down Eddie
Mm-hmm.
because Eddie sees me,
Mm.
and Eddie actually acknowledges and talks to me.
At this time of night, Eddie is probably waiting outside the Dairy Queen for the shifts to end and all the rest of the food that didn't get prepped or got prepped and nobody came and picked up to get brought out back. Sometimes the staff is nice enough to save him a couple of things.
Mm.
Some nights he has to go digging.
And now head that way because I would know that. I'm probably
Yep.
familiar enough, and I'll look for him. I'll even call out like
Yep.
as I am walking towards the back of the Dairy Queen. I'm thinking about one time when some kids from school saw this and it was not great for me. So I call out, Eddie, are you there? And see if I hear
You
anything.
hear the spinning of a glass bottle on the pavement. And kind of the shadow from the wall elongates as he kind of stands up and looks down in your general direction. Can't quite see him. He's shadowed from the front, but Eric, is that you, boy?
Yeah, it is. Why do you got to be so creepy all the time, Eddie? Jesus.
Uh, not trying to be. What you need? What's on your mind? Something's wrong. I
No,
can tell.
oh, it's the same. You know, it's the
Oh,
same. I'm
same
trying,
same old shit, different night.
and I will not. I will pause because I do want to sort of unload, but then I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
he's living on the street. Like, what am I gonna? So I'll stop, and I will feel guilty, and I will take that guilt and I will ball it up and I will put it right next to the other guilt that I stored there a few minutes ago, and it's right next to the other guilt that I had from earlier that day, and I'm just going to keep filling that well. I'm going to lock those boxes and toss them down in that well because that will be healthy and nothing will go wrong with that. And Eddie, I just wanted to let you know I'm going on a little school trip, and I won't be around, but and I'll reach in my pocket and I'll grab the $20 that my dad gave me for this trip, and I'll say, "Hey, I found this out front of the Dairy Queen, and it's yours. It's for you." And I'll give
So
it to
he
him.
he grabs the 20. He kind of looks at it. He looks up at you and he goes, "Really? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he slaps you on the shoulder and kind of pulls you in. He's a little ripe,
Mm-hmm.
but he pulls you in for a hug and says, "Eric, you have been, mm, I I don't know what I would have done without you. You've been so kind to me. And most folk around here, they're just not.
Mm.
And I just wanted to let you know I appreciated it."
Um, I'm a teenager, 97. I don't know how to deal with an adult saying nice things like that. So I will look around and I'll say, "Did you find anything good?"
Well, I got some. He goes back down. He pulls up another black garbage bag. He's like, I got some cans. I got some bottles. I was gonna head down to the recycling center and maybe see how much I could get for it. I'm just like, can't
Oh,
do
that
that
sounds
tonight.
good.
They're a
No
little.
food though. They didn't have any dogs.
Oh no, yeah, they I got a couple of dogs earlier, but no, I've been digging for some stuff just to recycle. Um,
I'll walk
yeah,
with you if you want.
sure, yeah. You sure you don't mind being seen? Well, you don't mind being seen with me. You're the only one that don't mind being seen with me.
Mm.
Well, also maybe you can teach me how to hide in those shadows like you do. No one will see me, and I can work on my being creepy. We can do it together.
If that's what you want, I mean, I'm not trying. That's just the way I work. All right, so you
And
get
I'll spend a few
spend the
hours
rest of
with the best friend that I have in my
mm,
life, Eddie.
okay. All right. Mags, it is your
Uh-oh.
turn. What are you doing?
Yeah, so at the moment, I am talking really fast. I'm really excited because I'm explaining to Larry this new concept that I just saw in a mechanical magazine. But of course, my hair tie has broken for the third time tonight. So I am currently in his shop and I am hunched over, those front room couches that you might see at the beginning of a handyman shop where you can kind of just kind
Mm-hmm.
of sit in. The magazines are stacked to the side with the old coffee rings that are still stapled into everything. I'm sitting on, or I'm hunched over that right now, just pulling through my duffel bag. This is the duffel bag that I plan on carrying with me to the senior trip tomorrow. I have the duffel bag here because I plan on sleeping on this couch again tonight.
Tonight.
So it's one of those things that's kind of unspoken.
Mm-hmm.
Larry doesn't address it. I don't address it. So I'm rummaging through the bag right now, trying to find that plastic bag I have of hair ties. But all of my tech is in the way. Like my soundboards are in the way. I have to like remove my electrical boards. I have my toolkit that's here. There's clothes at the very bottom. I promise. There's a couple pair of jeans. There's a few tank tops. There's a jean jacket. I know it, but my hair ties are somewhere in here. And I finally find the hair ties, and I bring the bag out. And my middle finger and my ring finger on my right hand both have band-aids around the edge. My tech sometimes bite back. That just
Mm-hmm.
happens. So,
It just happens.
it happens. So a broken fingernail or pulled off fingernail or a slice across the knuckle, that happens. And I kind of look fondly upon those two fingers, that ring finger and my middle finger, What I don't look too fondly upon is that big, massive band-aid that I have across my forearm on my left-hand side, because that wasn't my tech. That was my dad. And
Yep.
it's just so much easier not to ask or not to answer questions, and just to put band-aids or long sleeves or other forms of covering when I can. So I find my hair ties. I finally pull my hair back, and I was like, no, Larry, hear me out. This could change the way you do lock changes. They're called quick set locks. And they don't even have to be digital. They can be manual, just like you like it, because you refuse to just move with the times. But there's a pin, and then I start immediately going through this new concept that I've seen in some mechanical magazine, where there's this new technology coming out with lock changes where you actually don't have to remove the tumbler. You can just stick a pin in and it recodes the lock, and you can stick your key in and you bring the key out, and suddenly the lock has been changed. I'm trying to convince Larry to jump on that, as we both ignore the fact that I plan on sleeping here tonight.
So he's looking over this stuff with it, and he's just like, "Well, I'm not sure, Mags. I mean, changing the tumbler is the most secure way of making sure that the lock's changed."
No, it's just Larry, you're so far in the past. I just need you to bring yourself to the future with me. Think of all the product that you can save. Like, all you need is a pin. You stick the pin in, you stick the key in there, and the lock reshapes the interior of the tumbler to the new key that you put in. It's still secure. The tumbler is still in place. You're just not removing it with every lock change.
Well, that would mean I wouldn't have to buy so many at the very least, right? I wouldn't have to
Right?
stock as much.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You would just need to buy the pins, but they're a one-time purchase, and then you can change as many locks as you want.
Huh. Hmm.
Can we try it out? Can you just try it when it lands?
How far out is it before these are hitting the market, Mags?
I get real quiet. I get real quiet and I just smile.
What are you not telling me?
So I don't okay, so it's not a product that's actually coming out. It's a concept of a product that could come out. We could build it.
Oh, okay. So this was your idea.
It was
It,
inspired by someone else
okay.
as I'm playing with a tumbler in my hand.
Mhm. And this isn't gonna end like that last experiment you tried in town, is it?
Oh, he gets the most adoring, beautiful smile ever. And I get quiet all over again. Because why address anything when you can just smile and hope no one notices?
So he stares at you for it feels like a minute, and he goes, "Damn it, Mags.
That's
All
a
right,
yes.
what do we need? What do we need?"
And I already have the list ready. I just need to go back to the bag and dig that out from the very bottom of the bag again. So she starts
All
that
right.
process back again.
She starts that process. He goes, he's like, "Okay, well, let me go turn that darn TV off so we can actually have a conversation and talk about this." And he goes in the back, to reach for the thing, and you hear the remote pick up from the table, and he goes to hit the power button, and he misses, and he hits the volume up button, because all of a sudden the TV gets really loud, and you hear something. He had it on a news channel, and a news story is basically going on, and all you catch is that Congress is having a specific hearing. They're bringing in some scientists, and some religious figures to talk about a very concerning topic. And before you get any more of that, TV comes back off. TV goes off, and Larry comes back out, and he'll kind of he throws a couple of tumblers down at you, and says, "Well, night's still young. We got time. You're going on that trip tomorrow, so let's burn the midnight oil."
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. I think this could be fun. Even if it doesn't work, I think we could be on to something here. I think this could be fun.
Yeah, not a problem. We got all night. I mean, if your dad said it was okay to stay out,
Yeah, I lie with a straight face.
he gets that knowing twinkle in his eye when you say yeah. He goes, all right, cool. Then let's do it. And you and he can spend the night. Do you want to do anything else while that's happening?
Um, no, because after what happened tonight, this is the one place that I feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
So almost like a tick that's just going to shove their head in and engorge as much as they can with this one singular place. I'm just going to kind of like just soak in as much of just, this is a safe place. I can sleep here and nothing is going to happen. I can be here and nothing is going to happen. I'm just going to stay here.
Perfect. All right. Well, the evening will pass. You guys will all head to bed at some point in time. You'll go back to your house or Larry's or wherever your safe space is for the night. The night will pass and you guys will wake up in the next morning. Uh, Oddly enough, none of your alarms went off. And by the time you all managed to get yourselves awake, it's about 8:30, and that's when the buses were supposed to leave.
Oh, God.
Oh God.
So, you guys rush down to Palmer High School, home of the Fighting Cougars, and sure enough, however you arrive, via vehicles that you own or probably bikes, be they
Mm-hmm.
mopeds or other means of transvance, you will get down to the school to find that a lovely line of yellow school buses is nowhere to be found in the school parking lot. But standing in front of the main door is a heavy-set man in a tan suit with a gray tie. He's slightly balding. You know him as the principal, Mr. Walters. And standing next to him is the science teacher, Mr. Edwards. Uh, the principal looks perturbed, like really put out. He's got the beginnings of that sweat, perspiration underneath his arms, like he's been out for far too long and just things aren't going right in his day, and he's just and Mr. Edwards looks like he's been trying to calm him down and get him to, be reasonable, and it's not worked.
Mm.
Uh, you do all seemingly arrive at the same time, and there is one other person in this group with you. It is Lily.
Lily.
Lily is there as well. She was also late, and the principal looks at all of you, putting his hands on his hip, and goes, "Of course, it had to be you five. You couldn't be on time at all. What's your excuse?"
My alarm clock, Mr. Edwards, my alarm clock didn't go off. I'm looking around. I said it.
Mr. Lynn, I appreciate your factual pieces that you put in your school newspaper and not your editorials.
Oh, sorry.
If you get my meaning.
Yeah.
This is such a liability. I can't believe I have to do that. We have to figure this out. Give the kids a break, Principal Walters. It's not that big a deal. Do you know how much I have to explain to the insurance companies when shit like this happens? Stuff like this happens. It's just it doesn't. Superintendent not going to be happy about this. You stay here. You are going to the camp. I will get you a ride. Just stay here. And he turns around and he marches himself back into the school. Kind of the glass doors open. They don't quite slam shut because they've got that little catch at the very end. And he disappears. And Mr. Edwards looks at you, gives you a sheepish shrug of his shoulders, and goes, "Yeah, he's not been in the best of moods. We didn't get everybody out on time, but it was nothing like you guys being almost a half hour late." Well, you said your alarm clocks didn't go off?
Mr. Edwards, he's bugging. Like, You see how many bags I have? I can't carry them all by myself, and the school didn't give me a person to carry my bags. So I call it fashionably late, and it's fine. I'm sure we can just hop in my car and drive up there. Like, why is he so
Uh,
bugging? It's not necessary.
he has that confused look on his face, like he doesn't understand the word bugging. Old adult doesn't understand the kids' new lingo.
Yeah.
He, so he's been explaining this to me for the last 20 minutes about insurance liability, and kids have to be on school property when they're going on a school thing. So you can't take your car, Rebecca. I'm sorry.
Like, it's not a big deal. If something happens, my mom and dad can take care of it. I mean, they
Your
are top attorneys.
Yeah, and your mom and dad would probably take the school for all they're worth. Not to not
Which
to
is why you should let me go with my crew, right?
I I can't make that call, Rebecca. I'm sorry.
That's
Lily's got her shoulder bag and she's got both hands on the strap over her chest, and she's in the back and kind of just like really quiet. I didn't show you guys Lily's picture, but imagine Tara from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That is
oh.
the image that I have for Lily, is that actress. So she's just kind of in the back and going on, and there'll be some talk amongst you guys for a few more minutes, and then principal will come out. He's got one of those old walkie-talkies in his hand, and he finishes up with it and he shoves it into his belt so that it sticks. Takes him a couple of times to get it there, and he goes, "Fine, I have a ride for you. It'll be here shortly. You're We'll just have to catch you up. You'll miss the first bit of the camp. It's not that big a deal. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine." And he says that, and you hear the diesel engine of a bus kind of rumble from the back of the school, and pulling around the corner is, of course, the short bus.
Oh.
Oh man, I don't know if that's going to be big enough to handle all of Vicky's stuff. I know her, not sorry, Vicky's stuff, Becky's. I would intentionally not use her real name. So if the name is Rebecca, let me correct. I was like, oh man, I don't know if that bus is going to handle all of Becky's stuff.
I can't
Tripping.
be
I'm on
seen.
time technically.
I agree with Dustin. I can't be seen coming out of that. Like, can we do something else? Can you?
This is the best I can do for the five of you.
That explains why you're stuck in that job.
Oh.
I mean,
What was that? He
Mm.
gets that red
Oh,
ruddy cheek.
Mr.
Kind of looks
Edwards,
like
yeah,
Yosemite Sam.
here's my permission slip, by the way. Here you go.
He grabs it. He doesn't he takes a brief look at it just to see if there's something at the initial,
Here you
at
go.
the signature piece, and he just kind of shoves it into his pocket and goes, "Good, I'll have the secretary take care of that." The bus pulls up and the doors open, and a man in a blue jumpsuit, you haven't seen him on campus before. He shuts the bus off, he steps down, and to Rebecca and to Lily and to maybe Mags, this man is the definition of military. Like he has that kind of Tom Cruise Top Gun look. He's got the short hair. He's got the strong chin. Kind of looks like he maybe just stepped out of a movie, but he's wearing that janitor's uniform, and he's got the patch on his shirt says Evans. And he steps off the bus, kind of looks at all of you, gives you a smile, and says, "Huh, looks like I'm your ride, kids. Nice to meet you. Name's Chase Evans. I'm the new janitor and part-time bus driver, apparently. Is he looks at the bags that all of you are carrying except for Rebecca, and he goes, is that all your stuff?
Rebecca does the hair toss. Um, yes, it is. I don't
Oh,
think you know me. Do you? Because you
I have
should.
I don't believe I'm new. I just started over the summer, so I don't believe you were one of the summer school kids. You don't look like you would be.
You're
He
very smart.
Oh God,
well,
we're gonna be dealing with that for the next 2 hours.
let me get those for you. And he goes over and he literally does the I'm going to grab everything from the trunk of the car after a grocery run. And he has absolutely no problem picking up all of Rebecca's stuff. Like he does it, and his back flexes. You can kind of see it a little bit through the jumpsuit of the uniform. His biceps kind of a little too tight, maybe. Not sure.
I hate this guy already.
God, yes, you
Yeah.
do. Yes, you do. Oh man. He just
I'm,
he gives both Dustin and Eric
I'm gonna
this type of guy.
stand next to Dustin. I'm gonna go closer to Dustin. I'm gonna lean in. Like, have you ever seen this guy before?
Out though, but like I didn't see him at the gym either. So
But have you seen him? Were you at school at all over the summer? Like, I've never seen him. Where'd the old janitor? What was the old? Do we know who the old janitor was?
while
Um,
Dustin may have been at school in the summer, he will not cop to that.
Eric would
you
totally
would
think that Dustin might have been in the school at the summer.
For
No,
sure.
That's exactly why I was
Like,
going to the person with the
no,
info.
no, summer school ain't for me, man. No.
Eric, you know that the old janitor was a Mr. Kelly, um, and yeah, he doesn't seem to be at school at least today. And you're not sure if you don't remember there being a retirement party for him over the summer or at the end of school. You know he was an older gentleman, but yeah,
So
nothing
now
about a
I've got my
nothing.
notebook out
Yeah,
and I
taking
start
notes.
taking some. Mr. Edwards, where'd Mr. Kelly go? Who's
Oh,
this guy?
Mr. Kelly is. He had an accident over the summer. He broke his leg about a week ago.
Oh no.
Yeah. He forgot that he mopped the hallway and kind of stepped back out, and he just feet came up underneath him and didn't shatter his tibia, but he gave it a good break.
Ugh.
Wait,
Ugh.
Mr. Kelly, our janitor for many years, forgot that he mopped a floor?
Oh, that's what he told everybody. Yeah.
I'm writing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you
Writing
forget
notes.
to mop the floor. You forget you mop the floor. Like it happens. It happens, right?
Maybe he got one of those concussion things.
But before he actually fell down. Okay, I'll write that down. Can I quote you on that, Rebecca?
Eric, say less.
I thought you said we were part of the same crew.
We are. It's just some should talk more, some should talk less. Right? This is where we nod.
Yeah, I've heard you say this before.
See?
And I captured all.
So it doesn't take the new janitor very long to get Rebecca's bags loaded to the back of the bus, and they go exactly where you think they would go, where the wheelchair would normally fit in the back of the short bus. They're all just kind of piled. They're piled up there. They're piled up there nicely. He kind of steps back off the bus. He does the dusting off of his hands. He looks at all of you and he says, "Well, we're kind of wasting time if we sit around here any longer. Are you kids ready to go?"
Yeah. Yeah, no, let's go. GM, how long is this trip? Are we anticipating just an hour trip, 30 minutes, 20 minutes?
You're going to be on the bus for about 2 hours.
It's about a 2 hour trip. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you're going west of Pikes Peak. It's going to take a little bit to get through the mountains up through that area. And it's a little bit beyond there there's an old school. That's not a campground that the school has, but it's like the state owns it. It's used for Boy Scout camps, Girl Scout camps over the summers and that kind of stuff. So you guys are so he jumps on the bus, he fires back up again, kind of watches you guys all walk on. He'll pull the handle, shut the door, and the short bus will head on out of town. You guys are going to head out. You're heading west. I believe the route is 42. You guys head up into the mountains, and he's a personable bus driver. You know, he's kind of it's only the 5 of you and him, so there's some chit chat going on back and forth if you play into it at all. He asks you if you want the radio on, and he'll turn that on to any station that you guys are interested in listening to. Music will start playing. If you guys would all like to make your first roll of the
here we
night,
go.
Oh man.
I'm ready. Let's go.
I'm going to have you guys give me an investigate check as you're kind of just taking in the bus, the trip itself. You've probably at this point, you've been on the bus for about an hour. You've had your intergroup chats. You've been talking with the driver. Anything else that you want to do during that time, basically. But we're going to go ahead and do that first roll of the night, an investigate roll.
So, babe, brand new to the system. I'm assuming if I look at investigate, it has mind in parentheses. I'm just combining the numerical value of my skill and my attribute in D6s.
That is correct. Yes,
Okay.
you are. So for the folks at home, for Maggie, she has a 1 in investigate, and her mind is a 4, so she will be rolling 5 dice. Looking for a 6.
I got 1 success here.
1 6.
1
got
1 1. Dustin?
I ain't see nothing.
Nathan.
All right.
I got Nathan on this one, y'all. All you.
That's okay. So we got 3 1s and a nothing. That is okay. So you guys are sitting there. I want you to tell me what you're focused on the bus before I tell you what you notice with your successes. So we will start with Rebecca. What are you paying attention to on the bus itself that suddenly catches your attention?
Oh.
I would say that I'm paying attention to the mirror. I'm actually paying attention to the rearview mirror to see if the driver is looking at me while I'm looking at him. Cue that song. But yes.
That's good.
All right. So yeah, you're paying attention. You guys have been playing this game for a little bit, or at least you seem like you've been playing this game for a little bit, where you're doing I'm gonna look into the mirror. Oh man. You just kind of keep looking back. You've caught his eye a couple of times, and you've gotten a smirk, or at least you think you've gotten a smirk. But this time when you look, for the briefest of moments, he gives you, it's not quite a scowl, but it's kind of that frustrated, like, almost a, I've been playing a game too long and I'm tired of it.
Oh.
It's there for a second and it's gone. It flashes across his face, and when you look back, he's kind of he's back to that normal, chipper, almost too all-American soldier, good boy look. But you saw that for just the briefest of moments.
She would actually look at everybody else. Actually, no. Dustin. Dustin.
Dustin has been trying to stare a hole straight through this guy. That's why I don't do anything. I've been trying to burn the back of his shirt with my gaze. Like, I just want him off the bus.
Yes, honey, yes.
She'll take her scrunchie, fling it at him.
Huh? What? Shh.
The driver. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's a real asshole, isn't he?
He most
No.
certainly does not have the look on his face like he's registering what it is that you're saying. He's just he does say that he's an asshole, but it looks like it's for a completely different reason than the one that you're thinking of.
He did some weird. His face changed. Like if he ate a bad burrito supreme or something.
Bad burrito supreme.
Like it's wigging me out.
Yeah, he's a bad dude. You shouldn't talk to him.
She gives up on that.
Right.
Yep.
The hate is so real.
The hate is so
The
strong.
hate is so real.
She goes, Eric, psst, Eric,
What now?
What now?
I think there's something whack with this dude. Like his face got all weird.
Have you've been staring at him the whole ride? He probably is sick of you. We could all see it, Rebecca. I mean, you just
True, he
Okay.
did get a success.
I did get one success on my one investigation success. I was investigating you this entire time, and all I could see is you just staring at him.
Okay,
It's old. It's gross, Rebecca.
we're gonna put a pin on the fact that you were like low key staring at me for so long. We'll address that later. But
Yeah.
I mean, why would he care if I was looking at him? Most old guys are happy that like somebody like me is looking at their old decrepit selves. Like there's something weird behind his eyes. Like I wouldn't lie about this.
Wait. You're saying like you're not saying he looked angry. You're saying weird, like different, like not normal weird. Now I'm like interested. Wait, not. What are you saying? Like
What are you?
a werewolf? Like what are you trying to tell me here? Like a vampire, like a monster thing kind of thing?
Okay, can we chill on the sci-fi fantasy weird thing for a second?
You brought it up. It was you. You said it. What?
Okay, Agent Scholar, whatever their name is, like, look, he just his face changed, like he was tired of something, like he's pretending. And I know about pretending. I had to like a lot of people last year. But this is what like you pay attention to this stuff.
Maybe he was tired of pretending that he doesn't hate this terrible job and driving us to camp in this terrible bus. Like maybe he just doesn't want to do what he's doing.
I mean, that's fair, but he's new, right? Like I didn't see him at all
Yeah.
over the summer.
Oh, were you here at the over the summer?
Yeah.
I got my pad back out. Did you see Dustin?
Listen, I was busy with practice, spirit squad, cheerleading, things that you wouldn't be interested in. But, and no, I didn't see Dustin.
Did you see Mr. Kelly fall?
What is this interrogation? Is this people's court or something?
No, it's an interview. It's an interview. It's very different. Interviews are friendly interrogations.
Oh, okay, Eric. Listen, I did see Mr. Kelly. Okay, let's redirect our focus. We have a weirdo driving our bus. What if he's like a weird kidnapper or something?
Okay,
I'm
let's
too
test
pretty
something. Want to
for
try something?
this.
Let's
Sure.
try something here. Play along with me. Play along. Hey, what did we say? His name was Chase or what was his name? Evans?
Chase Evans.
Chase it. Hey, Mr. Evans, can we stop at Taco Bell?
We're kind of far outside the city. I don't think there's a Taco Bell anywhere out on Route 42 here. I mean, we're heading up into the mountains, and it's gonna be just forests on either side alongside the mountain. So
Is there anywhere we can stop and eat? Like, if I don't eat, I may faint. I'm hyperventilating.
didn't you? I mean, you got enough bags back there. Did you bring any rations or supplies with you for that kind of thing?
Rebecca,
No.
Rebecca, he said rations. Who says rations?
Somebody in the military. No, I didn't bring anything because the school's supposed to take care of that. Like, I'm a senior. My tax dollars pays enough.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's good. You mean your parents' tax dollars? Are you working?
I plead the fifth. I learned that.
By watching Judge Judy.
I think
Valid.
when Mr. Evans asks Rebecca if she's working, I just burst out laughing.
That is fair. All right.
Eric.
Sorry. Mr. Evans, I'm sorry. I didn't want to be gross, but it's more like if there's not it's like I was at a Taco Bell and now it's after I ate at a Taco Bell and I really need we need to stop. I'm just wondering if there's a place to stop, to take care of what happens after you eat Taco Bell. That's really I don't want to be gross.
I think there's there might be a rest stop somewhere up here. There's a map behind the seat here. If you wanna grab it and look to see.
Grab Eric.
I will, but I mean, if he lets us stop, it's not a kidnapping, or if it is, it's a terrible kidnapping.
What if it's like one of those reverse psychological things?
Okay, Rebecca, I'm gonna go look for this map.
Yeah. So there's one of the old book atlases shoved behind the back of his seat. You will also notice that there is a military style rucksack that is shoved back there as well. Blue, kind of that deep blue of the Air Force colors. Definitely the right kind of consistency for their duffel bags. It's just kind of shoved back in there behind the seat. It's got a drawstring. It's pulled tight and taut. So you can't see anything inside of it, but you rolled a success on your investigation check. Is there anything that you're going to be looking at while you're up here?
Who's closest? Is like Mags up towards the front or Dustin up? Who's closest up towards the front when I go to get this map? Because I'm gonna sit down right at that seat, then make a lot of noise with this map, but I'm gonna try and catch whoever's closest eye and sort of give like I'm gonna try and point towards this rucksack because now rations and we've got a duffel bag and this is all lining up to be weird. And I want to invest. I mean, I got to one of my investigate. I want to investigate this rucksack, maybe with my foot, trying to open it a little bit, or and like paging through the map really loudly and flamboyantly as a distraction while I'm trying to get a little look at
who
this
wants
thing.
to be Eric's distractor partner?
I will. I think that while I don't always pick up on what Eric is saying, I do know that he constantly needs somebody to do something while he's doing something.
There we go. Yep. Constantly needs somebody to do something while he's doing something. Yes.
Yeah, so I just kind of like, Dustin's a big guy. He
works out.
He works out. He starts asking a lot of questions about this guy's gym routine. So what are you doing? Like at the gym?
Those gains do.
How you get those gains? So he'll start talking about some of his routines. Never skips leg day, focuses on biceps, back. One of those things. He's always been a runner. He goes for a few mile jog every morning. It's just the more Eric hears about it, the more Eric realizes that it's very routine oriented, very military. Like he was like, you are definitely getting the sense that he was in the military at some point for some period of time with just how structured he is when talking about this.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Paul Dillett, who was like, fourth Islands in 1993, he says that cardio's trash.
No, man. See, that's everybody says that, but then if you can't it doesn't do you any good if you can't keep going. The cardio is going to boost your endurance. It's going to push you a little bit further. You can push harder. You can do more. You can lift more. He does the one arm on the wheel and he goes, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, but I mean, but what am I doing at the gym if not cardio while I'm lifting? Because like I'm putting it up, I'm putting it down.
Yeah, but
Like
that's only
what?
working. That's not working your lungs. That's not working your lungs, man. You're just working your biceps. You're working your triceps. You're working your glutes, your abs, everything. I mean, you look like you look like you do good. I mean, I can see your routine's been good for you, but if you can't push further, you're not going to get very far.
All right, what about Nasser Salbadi from '97? Right, he just this year, right? So like he doesn't have cardio in his workout either, right? And this dude is ripped.
Yeah, but those pictures, man, those are after days and days of cutting. Like those pictures, that's one picture and he immediately looks like any other bodybuilder right afterwards. That is a moment in time that you cannot keep for eternity. We get those pictures and
Oh.
that's what you get.
All right. So what you eating then, huh?
And he'll start going through a routine. We'll go back to Eric. So Eric, you're paging through the map. You do see that there is no rest stop on the way out. You would have to veer off 42, and even then, like 42 cuts straight through the mountains, and there's really no pull-offs, even for anything related to Pikes Peak. All of that is further south. You do see that there is the Air Force base that was relatively close to town and has been a prominent source of income for most of the residents. So that kind of sticks your attention. But you start poking at the bag and starting to kind of peel it open with your shoe. It takes you a little bit while Dustin and he are going back and forth for a bit. And you get it open a little bit, thanks to some of the bumps on the road kind of.
And if it helps, I will take a shoe off so I can get
And
I can use my toes more dexterously.
absolutely,
Oh my
absolutely.
gosh.
You certainly can.
Nate. Oh
Because that's
God.
not gonna come because that's not gonna come back to bite you at all. No.
Never. No. Take his toe.
I'm
Um,
also cursing a little underneath my breath because, man, Rebecca was right. This guy is military. Damn it.
yeah, you kind of you get the bag open just a little bit, and you can see like stuffed in at the top are like a couple of shirts, like just they look like shirts. Definitely, it's balled up cotton and stuff at the top. But as you're kind of nosing around and you're opening the bag up a little bit more, you see like a manila folder, like the top edge, the creased edge of one, kind of like it's bent in and shoved in with the rest of the stuff that's in his bag. Doesn't necessarily, I mean, it's a little out of place, but if this guy's got, it kind of looks like he's got all his stuff in this bag. So maybe it's a middle folder of job applications or something like that, but you can't get into the bag enough to get any more than that without totally alerting him that you're going through his stuff.
I mean, my drive is to discern the truth from the lies.
It
And
is.
so I'm going to wait for maybe a bump or any sort of moment, and I'm gonna, oh shit, and I'm gonna throw the map down loudly on the ground and then reach down noisily to get the map off the ground and try and snag that folder and stick it in. So I'm gonna
All right. Well,
do some stupidness.
Let's go.
perfect. We
This is
will get there
beautiful.
we will get there in a moment. Mags, you also got a success. What are you looking for? What catches your eye?
How
or
do
your
you
ears?
feel about me, like, on the short buses, microbus? How do you feel about me sitting with Lily with like my head in her lap?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
She is one of those types that she is there to help her friends more than she helps herself.
perfect. So this is like I am stretched out across the chair. My knees are pulled up, and one
Mhm.
foot is against the glass. I have a handmade fidget spinner that I made a couple years ago that I love to tinker with, either when I'm bored or I'm stressed. My hair at this point has spilled all over Lily's lap. It's just an entire avalanche of hair all over her lap, and I am narrating on a very high level how stupid everyone else is on the bus. But it's like this colorful. It's like, okay, so this is going to be the point where they realize that. Hold on, really fast. Let me get to the actually overlay that I can see. This is going to be the point that they realize that Becky actually has a brain cell. Up. She called it. Up. No. Oh, wait. Yep. So Yep, Eric is going to go to the front. I guarantee you he's going to do something stupid, or this is going to end up in an article. Oh, wait. Oh, there's Dustin talking about his workout routine. Like, it's one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my major focus as I'm like blindly narrating or like peeking my head around just to see where they are on their escalation of just teenage dumbery is mostly going to be outside of the window. So if my head is on my lap, this is going to be me narrating, checking in, and then looking out the window at the mountains and the forest as we're passing.
Yeah, so you're gonna see that you're not get the trees out here aren't very deciduous. They don't have a ton of leaves and stuff, and it's definitely still early. It's not even early fall yet. It's still like that really late summer. So nothing's starting to really start to fall for what's there. But yeah, it's hilly. The grade of the road, you can definitely tell you guys are heading up pretty high. And you're just kind of watching, and then something catches your attention. Like you hear you've been droning on and you've kind of heard the radio, and it's oddly like your cadence has been keeping up with the songs. Like you would talk in time. The song was going faster, you would speed up. If it was slower, you'd slow down. It's just something that you would instinctively end up doing. And now the radio is like the static. Like you're getting just a little too far away from the radio station, and you remember that old static that you hear as the station would fade in and out, and it fades in and it fades out, and it fades in and it fades out, and it's really repetitive, like almost code-like.
So originally, when the static interrupts the signal, like we're going up an elevation, we're in the middle
Yep.
of the woods. Sure, okay,
Yep.
that happens. Also, shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
But once I'm keen on almost to like this internal rhythm of it, almost like there's either a language that's happening or there's some type of rhythm to it. I think I'm just gonna I stop and I'm gonna sit up and I'm gonna look around, and then I'm actually going to Lily, I'll be right back. And I'm going to climb over her, and then I'm going to walk up the center aisle where I can get directly up to the radio console.
Mm-hmm. And he'll go, well, you really should stay behind the line, but something wrong?
Yeah, no, the lines are great. They're great for boundaries. And I'm just gonna play with the dial. Like literally, I'm just gonna violate. I'm violate all lounges. I'm just going to see if I can change the station to connect with a different station.
Okay, yeah, you get to another station, and it starts relatively normal. This is another local one, and it starts playing normal, and then that same static, although it's you realize that you're the only one hearing it. Like it's not a loud enough crackle or anything that's anywhere near, like it's not that where you wouldn't hear the radio still playing. It's just enough of a mismatch that everybody else can hear the radio still playing, and you are noticing that static behind the scenes, and you're noticing that pattern with it. And it doesn't matter. The more you turn the dial back and forth to the different stations, it doesn't matter. You change it, it follows you.
What the hell is this? So now at this point, I've crouched down, and the radio has on the other side of the line, on the front half of the line, and the radio has my entire attention. Quick question: when I walked up, did I see Eric futzing around in this man's bag, out of view as I was walking up?
He hasn't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Like this is all happening in tandem.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to sit up there and play with the radio, and just because I'm not overly familiar with the system or the setting, is there a tech related role that I can do to try to interpret what could be causing this?
Absolutely. You can either give me a calculate roll or a program roll.
Ooh, let's do calculate. That puts my tech is a 5 and my calculate is a 2. So that is going to be 76, friends at home. I hate Free League publishing sometimes. That's 0 successes. Is there a push mechanic?
There is absolutely a push mechanic. So at the bottom of your character sheet, one difference that I do that's different from Tales from the Loop and Things from the Flood is that Things from the Flood characters do not have any luck. Luck is a mechanic from Tales from the Loop, and those kids get a free reroll.
Okay.
Depending on what age they are. Normally, there's none of that within the setting. For this, I give every player one free reroll if they want to use it.
Okay.
The other push mechanic is there are those checkboxes at the bottom of the character sheets that are upset, scared, exhausted, broken, and scarred. Those conditions. You cannot check broken and scarred. That is the final one that you get after checking all the other boxes.
Okay.
So you can, if you want to push, you check one of those conditions, you re-roll your pool as it stands.
Okay.
And then the next time you make any roll, that condition, the number of conditions that are checked, penalizes your pool by that many dice.
Oh, that is delicious. Okay.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. That is super delicious. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use my free reroll. This is a one shot, so I'm just going to lean into potential consequences and failure on this one.
Okay.
Out of upset, scared, exhausted, or injured, I think this is going to be a really good upset for me because I can
Absolutely.
recognize that something is on the tip of my awareness, the tip of my tongue. I can almost taste it, but I can't connect it, so that's frustrating me in a way. There's also something that's slightly unnerving about that. I haven't bought into all of this silliness that Becky and Nate are up to right now, or that Eric are up to right now. But this overlaid with it now is making me feel a little uncomfortable. So I'm just going to reroll.
Okay. Before you reroll,
Whoop.
you also have, everyone has on their character sheet, you have your, you have it on something under your item. It's your iconic item.
Yep.
Specifically, you have a Swiss Army knife. You do not have to use the Swiss Army knife in the check that you're doing, but you can use it to give yourself +2 to your dice pool. And everybody gets to do that once during the game.
That is delicious. I'm going to blow that right now, too.
Okay, so take your dice pool up to 9.
Yep, I'm gonna blow that right now.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah. Listen, it's a one shot. Let's go. So I think what I'm doing, I've already indicated that I'm kneeling or squatting in front of it. So I'm gonna reach into my back pocket. I'm gonna flip out the Swiss Army knife, and I'm actually gonna detach the face of this radio out of its cabinet, where I can look at the back of it and the front of it.
And the bus driver is absolutely trying to pay attention to, like, what the heck are you doing type of thing. But you go ahead.
All right. Because what's the worst that could happen? We got 3 here.
Come
baby.
on.
You got 3. All right. So, and you rolled calculate, correct?
Let me make sure I didn't lie my ass off to everyone here on stream here, baby. I did. Yes, I did calculate tech with the +2 from the signature item. Yep.
Okay. So with a success on, with 3 successes on this roll, you get bonus effects for the extra 2 dice.
Okay.
You can either ask me an additional question, so you can ask me up to 3 questions, or when using the information later, you can get an extra die.
Ooh, interesting. Ooh, that's a sexy mechanic. Okay. Let me lean in with the questions and see where we go from there.
Okay. What questions do you want?
What's causing this static disturbance?
So the static disturbance does not seem to be coming from the radio itself. The radio, all the innards, everything looks new. Like, this bus seems old. Like, it's an older bus, but the radio is new. And now that you're kind of looking around, like, the CB is new. All the tech in this school bus is new-ish. Like, it looks old, but when you pull those wires back, there's no dust, there's no buildup, there's no fraying. It's just all like it was just put in recently.
Okay, so the static situation isn't coming from the physical equipment is here. So there's something coming
Correct.
in from the network, something that's being brought in.
Yep, definitely the radio signal is what's causing this static.
Okay, so the radio signal. So second question is going to be, what is the static saying to me?
So the static is saying to you, it is Morse code. And you kind of tap it out, and it is basically saying, as you're tapping it out, you get the words danger repeated, and you're fairly certain the rest of the rest of the message is not, it's numbers. It's 6 numbers followed by another 6 numbers, and then the words danger repeats again.
Interesting. Okay, this is not my third question to you. This is going to be an immediate question that she's going to actually pose over to Mr. Evans. Because I'm smart enough to see if people will lie to me. I love asking questions just to see if they'll lie to me. So I'm going to look at it like, hey, this sounds like Morse code, right? Do you speak Morse code? You've got the whole military thing going on. Is that a thing?
He looks at you. He gets that. He's kind of like, what? Like he wasn't hearing it.
Yeah.
And you point it out, and he hears it. You recognize that he hears it. You recognize that he recognizes what that is. And he just kind of gets that, not quite a bug-eyed look, but definitely like a look.
Okay, so it is Morse code. Do you know what it's saying?
He doesn't answer you. He does. He kind of like he goes over and he grabs the CB, and he brings it up to his mouth, and you don't hear him talking, but his mouth is moving.
Nope. So I'm going to hold my last question. I'll use that for an additional dice. And I'm going to retreat my happy ass back across that line where I belong.
She said, nope.
Nope, we're good on that one. Whatever that was, I'm not here for that.
As soon as you retreat your happy ass back over that line, Eric drops the map loudly on the floor. He gets down to grab it and start peeling the rucksack open. And as that goes to happen, the 5 of you on the bus hear a very loud bang. And suddenly, Mr. Evans is turning the wheel as the bus starts fishtailing rapidly across the road, and suddenly goes off the left and down, begins to roll.
Oh, God.
Down and down and down into the ravine on the left-hand side of the road. Those of you not sitting, I'm very sorry. Actually, everybody needs to do this, but those of you not sitting down, if you would please give me if you would please give me either a force or a move roll.
Andy, by not sitting, perhaps you mean crouched in the footwell of a seat. Yes, okay.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, roll that damn shit, Nate. You're not getting out of that. You go, I go, baby.
Wait, you try to tell me these other kids have their seatbelts on?
There are no seatbelts on this bus.
Yeah, exactly. What was my body or force? What was it?
It's force or move.
Force or move.
They're both going to be body checks, but
oh gosh, this
I got
is bad.
5d6. Free legal suit me real well. Oh my goodness.
It's 2.
I got 4 ones and a 6.
At least you got a 6.
Critical fails? Are there's no.
There are no critical fails in the system. No.
Ooh, honey.
All
right. So what do we have, Mags?
And just to double check, what do I need for successes? 6?
You need a 6.
Okay.
No successes.
Mags, you got no successes. Rebecca.
No,
0 success.
Rebecca. Let's go, Victoria.
Eric, you got a success.
I'm about to get hurt.
And Dustin.
I have 3 successes.
He went to the gym. He didn't skip leg day.
He didn't skip leg day.
He didn't skip leg day. Dustin, you got 3 successes. You have 2 more than you need.
Absolutely.
Lily, Maggie, and Rebecca all failed. Are you doing anything to help them?
Well, yeah, I guess I would kind of try to skid my way to the back of the bus to secure Lily and Rebecca if possible.
You can get 2 of the 3.
Yeah, Mags is forever talking shit these days. like I don't know, like she thinks I can't hear when she's talking shit. But I know. I know.
Dustin's gonna save the NPC
over the player. Yes.
I'm here.
I applaud
Hey,
this, baby. This is the way,
I am
Hollow.
here for this.
Get hit.
All right. So,
That is teenage petty.
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 so with Dustin's assistance, Rebecca and Lily will be fine. Maggie, you're going to take another condition.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Injured feels good for this one.
Yep, just not broken and scarred. That's the only one you can't take.
Okay. I'll pull up an injured.
All right. The bus will eventually come to a stop. The engine smoking, the sides of the bus caved in a multitude of areas. And we are going to take a quick break.
Oh, my
Let's
goodness.
Go, Abby, let's go.
Oh, God, that is absolutely delicious. Okay, Symphony, we are going to take a quick break. I'm going to have a very honest conversation with you really fast, Andy. I can put a 5-minute timer on here. No
5
one ever
minutes.
makes it back in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I would say
know.
go 7 or 10. The 5
Okay.
never works. What you want to do?
Absolutely.
You want to do 7? You want to just do a full 10-minute break? What do you want to do? Your game, your world.
Let's do a 10-minute break. I need to medicate my cat, so that's going to take a little bit longer.
Listen, that'll be perfect. Symphony, we will be right back here in 10 minutes. We will see you guys in a bit. Thank you. Okay, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us through the break. I immediately hand the reins back over to GM Andy.
All right. So you guys have gone through quite the ordeal to this point as your bus has rolled down the side of the mountain, hitting branches and tree stumps and rocks and all sorts of manner that have made your tin can a bit more of a smashed than it was when it was driving on the road. You're not sure if you got knocked unconscious or not. You're not entirely certain how much time has passed.
Wow.
As you kind of bring yourselves back to consciousness. The engine of the bus is smoking. You can see that there are cracks in the windshield, and Mr. Evans' head is lolled to the side. You can't tell if he is conscious or not. He is the only one that had a seatbelt. Lily is kind of peeking out from under Dustin's arms. I'm assuming Dustin, as he attempted to save Rebecca, and Lily has kind of just pancaked himself on top of both girls. Lily is kind of bright red in the cheeks as she kind of wiggles her way out and unsteadily gets to her feet, realizing that she's standing on the glass on the side, from the side of the bus rather than the floor of the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And she kind of, you see her all kind of groggily look at the rest of you and goes, "Is everybody okay?"
I think Rebecca, after realizing kind of what happened, my head looks around, realizes that Dustin kind of pancaked her.
His face is right in your face, like nose to nose.
She opens her eye.
That's so good.
She opens her eyes. Are you okay, Dustin?
Dustin, we might have lost your mic.
Okay.
Oh,
Am I
wait, we
back?
can hear you.
There we go.
You're back.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you good?
Yeah, that was really heroic of you.
Yes.
I just did what anybody would have done, you know. Yeah.
I forgot how fast you were. It's been a while since running around as kids.
Yeah, it's been a little while. You said your head. Is it okay as he like reaches up and like checks for wounds?
She doesn't seem to be hurt.
I think I I think I got a bump on my head right here. Can I like is there like a charm mechanic for this that I
There is absolutely a charm skill on your sheet, and I believe
can
I'm not
I roll?
I'm not 100% certain, but I believe you have the best charm of every character I made for this game.
It sure as shit ain't me. I know that.
Same.
Oh, and it's the heart attribute. Oh. For
Yeah,
those
so
following at home, that is 8d6
Holy
right there.
shit.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh,
If I don't get some successes, I'm gonna cry. I got 2.
Okay. What do you want to have happen here? And it will only work if Dustin is okay with it.
Yes. I want him to fully okay, not fully given the situation, but let down that tough guy exterior just a little bit and kind of it's not fully admit because no teenager will fully admit when they like somebody, but give a signal, give a girl a signal of hope here.
Okay. Dustin?
Yeah, absolutely. Dustin, at the insistence, like, oh, there's clearly a bump on the front of her head, like, hey, let me take a look there. You know, as he like, gently caresses, like, where her hair parts, looking for anything,
Mm-hmm.
he gives her a kiss on the forehead. I think you're gonna be all right. All right.
Thanks, Dustin. You always look out for me. And at the moment, then she'll turn her head to the others and like, oh my god, you have too much protein, Dustin. Get off. You're gonna ruin my dress.
You have too much protein.
Too much protein.
I was like, it's the whiplash of that is like, what? Like, just like I thought there was something here, and now it's like, yeah, I'll get off you. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. And there's like a little moment of like, not disgust, but just like hurt confusion because he's like, I let myself be myself for 2 seconds. Noted.
Noted. And the trauma begins here in childhood for everyone.
Eric.
Sort of half wedged underneath the seat.
Uh-huh.
Anyone seen my shoe? Oh my God, my head.
Yeah, the shoe that was off that would have tumbled. If we would have shot a movie scene in slow motion as you guys all tumbled, the shoe would have just kind of passed by in the middle of the scene twice.
Foosh.
Mhm.
Foosh.
I'm gonna extricate myself from where because I got that success, so I held on in some way, or I don't know, got stuck in some way,
Yep.
didn't tumble through the dishwasher of the bus as it rolled downhill. Get out and then confused, sort of like Lily. Oh shit, we're on our side, and looking around, and Dustin, Rebecca, they're making out. Mags,
That's going in the book later.
file it away.
File it away.
Uh-huh. Mags, you okay? Evans, you okay? Lily? Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm going to wind up like pulling myself up in between two of the seats that are turned over. She's obviously not fine. So the left half of her hair is soaked through. It almost looks like she has it, almost like she was washing just one section of her hair. But the closer you look at it, it's actually just blood that's running somewhere from her scalp that is just completely soaked through the curls in her hair. But I don't seem like I'm responding or connecting with that injury. Like there's just like, a stream of blood that's pretty steadily running. I took the injured condition that's running down from my scalp and it's stuck in my hair. I'm fine. I'm
Oh
fine.
my gosh. Mags, no, you're not. And I'm going to go over and mirroring the Rebecca Dustin moment. I'm going to reach out to that bump on. You're not fine. You're bleeding.
Ugh.
Oh my God, you're disgusting. You're covered in blood. It's so gross. And I'm going to look around
Eric!
for, I'm sorry. It's you're wounded. And I'm going to look for a dirty ass. I'm going to pull my sock off of because I'm not wearing a shoe. I'm going to
Yes.
try and like rub the blood off your face.
So dirty sock to the face. Can I get a handful
It's
of blood
cleanish.
to his face? Just
Yeah,
I didn't believe
absolutely.
it. As soon as he's with the disgusting stuff, let's hand right to his face and trying to push him back.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh God. Oh shit. And just because we're up there in front, I'm just gonna like lean over and look at the driver. I'm just gonna lean over and look at
see
Mr.
him,
Chase Evans.
You see him kind of doing the slump with his head off to the side. The seatbelt is pulled tight and taut across his shoulder, kind of pulling it back, but he's just he hasn't moved or responded to the fact that you guys are conscious and awake. So he might still be out.
Is he
Mags,
alive?
is he dead?
I was gonna say, like, yeah.
Nobody has
alive?
checked on him. Nobody has checked on him yet. So
Let's do that.
okay.
Let me lean over and see if I can grab a pulse, turn his chin, see if I can see if he's breathing.
So you get over there, you peer over, you put your fingers on his carotid. His pulse is there. It's not super strong, but it's not like weak. He's definitely out. It looks like he took a pretty big blow to the head as well. You can see blood trickling from his scalp. And it's not just like yours where it was kind of like a superficial cut. You can kind of see like he banged his head against the dash. You can see the blood from like the CB on over the CB radio and everything on that side. Like that was quite the whiplash on that side to throw him that hard.
Shit. Okay, guys. Right before we crashed, the radio was doing a thing. And I'm not gonna try to explain it to you because half of you wouldn't get it anyways. But I was able to determine it was Morse code, and it was saying danger, a series of 6 numbers, danger, a series of 6 numbers, danger, a series of 6 numbers. It was like on repeat, but it was on every station. It wasn't fuck. And I'm just gonna kind of like lean over and try to get this information off while I'm still trying to like reconcile with probably a mild concussion. It wasn't the
Absolutely.
hardware with the bus, which is weird anyways because like everything on this fucking bus is new. The bus isn't new, but all the tech is new. And so it wasn't a malfunction. It wasn't a malfunction with the tech. There was a signal coming in. It was danger. It was repeating 6 numbers, danger. I asked gorgeous boy here, did he understand it? Because it was Morse code, and he did, but he wouldn't say it back to me. And then he reached into his radio, and he said something that. Now let me clarify exactly what I experienced there, Andy. His mouth was moving, he was speaking, but I couldn't hear anything. Like it was just low, or there was something more to that. I interpreted that as something more, but I want to clarify in this moment.
So from Maggie's perspective,
Yeah.
she couldn't hear what he was saying.
Okay.
From a player perspective, you are hitting the nail on the head.
I love it so much. So from Maggie's perspective, and then he got on the radio, but he started. I don't know what he said. I don't know what he said. I don't know who he called, but he didn't want me to hear. And I don't know why he swerved.
He got on this radio right here, and I'm gonna flip that radio on and try and see if it'll turn on and if there's a signal.
You hit the radio and it nothing comes back. There's no the numbers that would normally show up on a CB radio for what station you're tuned to, nothing comes on. There's no power to that radio. And as you kind of were flipping around with the switches and stuff, you pulled the CB with the wrapped coil, pops right out of the casing with the wires snap.
Like the whole radio just
just the clip
or the
microphone. The microphone. Yep, the microphone. Shit. And its whole cord come out with the wires snapped on the end.
Can you fix this, Max? And I'm gonna hand her the broke ass microphone, and then I'm gonna look for you. Did he have a radio? We've got to.
Eric.
We gotta call someone.
Can we stop the blood from her head first?
Yeah, because Mags lost Dustin almost immediately with all this Morse code nonsense. I'm looking for a first aid kit. That seems practical.
There is absolutely a first aid kit on the school bus. Yes.
Yeah.
Dustin, I already tried that. She doesn't want any help. And I'm gonna look for this radio on Chad Evans.
Yeah, you start patting him down. I'm assuming you start looking for a radio, so you start opening his uniform and stuff. You
like a military style. In my head, I'm like, oh, he's got a military style radio. He's got a way to call into something.
Right. So you start undoing the janitor, the buttons on his overalls, and he's got a white t-shirt, white Hanes t-shirt on underneath. Nothing, no radio and stuff, but as you kind of you do notice that down on his as you're feeling around, there's a gun. There's a gun strapped to the small of his back.
Oh shit.
That's the last thing we need is Eric with a gun.
Oh shit.
What Hollow just said.
I'm gonna reach out like almost instinctively and like go to grab it. And then when I touch it and realize it's a gun, I'm gonna like, holy shit, he's armed. He's got a weapon on him.
What?
He's a bus driver. He's got a gun.
He is clearly not a bus driver. Can we get past that disguise already? Look.
Hold on. Now, just because he's strapped doesn't mean he's not a bus driver. I mean, like, there are bad neighborhoods. Just saying.
Bad neighborhoods. He's driving a bunch of high school kids in the short bus to camp.
Let's just say bus.
Bus. He's driving this shortened bus to camp.
Oh, okay. Like, this is literally how Scream started or something like that. So why don't we just work together here? Okay. Dustin, please go ahead and find the first aid kit because we totally need to make sure Maggie's brain is safe because clearly she's going to be our Tinkerbell here. And Eric, why don't you continue to look through his bag now that he's not conscious and see if you can find something. And Lily, why don't
you hear a bang from the back of the bus? And you as you said Lily's name and you turn to look at her, she is she's fighting with the emergency door handle.
Good girl.
On the back of the bus to pop it open.
Perfect. I will continue to search the driver and I'll see if I can stabilize him. Don't pay attention to me. I'll be fine.
Rebecca, he's probably already gone. You don't probably gotta worry about him. I mean,
God, no, he's totally
Dustin,
alive.
I'm just gonna see if I can wake him up, and make sure, Eric's thorough, but people hide things more places. I'm just going to do my thorough duty and check.
yeah, all right,
Ready?
do what you want. I'm
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Wait, you're not
So
about to feel up an unconscious guy, are
Yeah,
you?
Rebecca, you sound like a cavity search is about to happen. What is going on in here?
Whoa!
What? How much more thorough do you want to do with this unconscious old dude?
Whatever. I am not that type of girl. What do you all take me for?
I just I don't know. As I walk back to Maggie, now I see that she's hurt and I feel bad. Like
No, you're not. You
Oh.
saved an NPC. I love it.
oh no, it's like I can do
Real
both.
talk.
Real
I
talk.
saved an
It's so
NPC.
good.
And now I feel bad that you actually got hurt. I thought you had it. But you didn't.
After the fact. After the fact.
It's so good.
So-
Okay, while you're feeling him up, can you at least get the gun off of him?
Oh, that was plan number 1.
All right. So Dustin is helping Maggie.
Yep.
Eric is going through the bag.
Yep.
Rebecca is searching to see if there's anything else on the bus driver, and eventually Lily will pop the back door open. It looks like it took her a bit, and the door is a little janky because of all the repeated rollings, but she gets it open, and you guys would be able to exit the bus from there. It's a little bit of a fall to get down to the ground because you're at an angle still. It looks like where the bus has stopped, you're propped between a couple of trees on the side, so because it's still going down. You haven't hit the valley. You're still on the hillside.
I got a question. So
Mhm.
that lead mechanic, does that work for what I just did right now?
You can, if you want it to, you can absolutely make that now.
Nice.
I will say it would make more sense to do a more one-on-one if you're trying to do it for mags rather than this would, like what you just did would, you could make a lead roll. You might, if you get a success, you may give everybody else a +1. This would be a helper mechanic because you
Mm.
are kind of taking charge of the situation. So you could give everyone a +1 die to their pool if you want to make a lead roll here, not the lead mechanic for clearing conditions. That you'll have to do specifically with Maggie, just you and Maggie.
Got it. I think because everyone's going to go do a task, I'll do the lead role.
Okay. This won't penalize anything. If you get a success here, you will give everyone else a +1 die to their pool.
Great use of mechanics, Victoria. Yeah.
And it's heart. And I have 5 hearts. So let's see if this actually comes up with something. Roll 5d6.
Come on, baby.
Oh, God. Okay, there's none.
All that means in this situation is that you don't give everyone a +1 die pool. That's all that
Okay.
means.
Okay.
Okay. So, Dustin, you're going to help Maggie. If you don't have to use a skill, but if you have something that would work, there's really no medicine check or anything along those lines. So we can basically just have you guys do a scene. Eric, you're going to go through the bag. I will need an investigate roll from you.
Ooh.
And you guys, Dustin and Mags, if you want to do that while he's rolling, you are
6
free to do
dice.
so.
Okay, so Dustin is coming over to me right now with the first aid kit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to like lean against the side of the chair, which would kind of be, I guess, where my hip should be sitting. So I can at least keep myself hoisted up and try to sit still. I'm going to start pulling my just half blood-soaked hair back and out of the way. I'm allegedly holding my own hair back in this moment, trying to help.
I'm going to reach into my bag and into my book bag that I probably would have kept me because I wouldn't let Tom Cruise fucking touch it. Uh, and I'm going to pull out some gin that I stole from my mom. I'm like, here, swig this.
Is this just a glass bottle?
Yes, it's a glass bottle. You
So
know, probably some Seagrams. Something real cheap.
Something real cheap.
Something real cheap.
Seagrams.
I take the
Ooh.
bottle and I look at it. My hand starts shaking. Like you can see the liquid inside of the bottle just start like jostling inside. It's almost like she goes offline, almost like she powers down for a moment. When she comes back up, it looks like she's getting ready to cry, and she just hands the bottle back to you.
Hey. It's okay. It's okay. It's cool. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. We're good. We don't need that. Here. Let me come here.
And just shuddering, I'm just going to, at this point, I'm just going to go into childlike compliance.
Sorry. I'm sorry you got hurt.
Eric.
I'm sorry, too.
You don't need to be sorry. I'm sorry. Okay?
2 successes as I rifle through the bag.
2 successes as you rifle through the bag. So, as you rifle through the bag, you pull out a couple of days worth of clothes, almost, like at least shirts, at least 2 shirts, a couple of pairs of underwear, a couple of pairs of socks. You pull out what you thought was 1 manila folder, and it's instead 5. And as you dig to the bottom of the, you can also ask me, you'll be able to ask me 2 questions, but you also find a cared ID on a lanyard buried at the bottom of the bag with his picture and name.
Is it the name that we know him as?
Yes, it is the name
Okay.
that you know him as.
All right, so it's Chase Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Any other identifying?
Basically, there's no other identifying information. There's no department or anything that's on there. You've seen your dad's badge before, and that usually has like the department that they work for underneath it. So it would say, it should say Chase Evans, something. It doesn't. Your dad says PR, or public relations, probably. It's not shortened, but his does not have anything on it. And it looks a little bit different than your dad's. Your dad's has that like barcode at the bottom. His has I don't know, to you it's weird. It's an embedded metal chip at the bottom of it. So it looks to the players as though it is the metal the tap portion of a credit card.
Oh, okay.
And that doesn't look like it. You guys, as characters, you have never seen that before.
I'll put that around my neck. And
Okay.
then I'm going to slip it inside my shirt.
Okay. You have 2 questions that you can ask me about the information that you found.
Ooh.
And I will get to you after you. You can ask 1 question before I tell you what's in the manila folders, and 1 question after I tell you what's in the manila folders.
So when I was looking through the map,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed the Air Force Base, what's the weird deal about that Air Force Base?
So you remember that movie Stargate?
Of course I do.
Oh, God.
So that
Oh,
Air
boy.
Force Base was kind of that Air Force Base is like where things happened from Stargate. Like that was the or in and around the area of Pikes Peak is where everything happened from Stargate. So that's a little bit weird to you. Like that's that sci-fi nerdy bit that kind of sticks into your head. You also know that a lot of military people from the air that when they get out of the service, they end up in Colorado Springs as like a stepping point, right? If they don't have anywhere else to go, they end up in Colorado Springs. They end up working in the town in and of themselves, and they usually end up working security details.
Mm-hmm.
And Caird does hire a decent amount of people from the military for their facility, for on-site security, for transport security, all that kind of stuff. So you get that, and then you notice that the manila folders are 5, and you start spreading them out, and you look at all of them, and immediately you note that these are medical files. You've seen charts and stuff from your brother, what the nurses take from blood draws, from EKGs and stuff. But this is a complete history for all 5 of you on the bus.
Oh no.
This is everything from your first vaccination check to every pediatric visit you've had to every instance where you've had to go to urgent care or the emergency room. This is everything that's ever happened to you, all in these manila folders. And something that stands out to you as you're looking through this, as you're trying to process all of that, you note that you and everyone else on this bus and in these files have the same blood type.
Do you want my second question, or do you want
If you are
to
ready
wait
for
on
it,
that?
if you are ready for it, you can absolutely ask.
So as I skim through these medical histories, and I'm going to look at mine, and I'm going to sort of flip through the others. What details or what information or what do I notice that links the, I don't know, the cognitive artificial intelligence research and development organization in the town with us, that I am surprised to see in my own file, or maybe I'm surprised to see in someone else's?
So the thing that you do note for 4 of you, because Lily is new to the town, so her history is not from the town itself. It's all from the different places she and her mother have been. But that's odd in and of itself because it wasn't part of the town. So how do they have it? The internet isn't a big thing yet. It is a thing, but it's not a big thing. You will note that all of you were seen by the same pediatrician, and all of the shots, all of the vaccinations, everything that you got, all of your history for that stuff, the source of those vaccines and everything else was Caird Industries.
Mm.
Well, that's a little upsetting. I will say out loud as I gather up these files. And did Lily actually?
She's got the back of the door,
She got that door.
Yep, and she's like theater of the mind. She's getting the door open, and and she's crawling out probably as you're finding this information out.
And I'm going to make my way back towards that emergency exit. I suddenly have to get out of this space, but I will sort of hold up these files and say, "This is us. This is all us." And I hate to say it, but I think, Rebecca, you were right twice. I think he was kidnapping us. And then I'm going to try and hop out of this bus and get some air.
It's a little bit of a drop. You do have to kind of either hurt your knees just a bit or superhero land or roll with it as you get down there. But
I feel like I'll try to make a dramatic statement like that, and then I will take about 45 seconds to clumsily
Yep.
maneuver my way out the back, and a
Smooth.
lot of grunting and ouch, and something rips as I tear something, and then
you're
I
not
finally
wearing a shoe or a
and
sock on one
there's-
foot.
yeah,
That's right.
Put a shoe on.
yeah, and then you'll hear me just collapse onto the ground as I fall a few feet.
You
Thump.
never went back for it. So those of you still on the bus, Rebecca, you have been going over Mr. Evans. You do not find anything else other than the gun. Um, it's a 9 mil. It's a clip. It's got 13 shots in it. Um, it you haven't seen a lot of guns except in movies, so you're kind of surprised at how light this feels in your hand.
Mm.
Um, but it's definitely loaded.
And remembering Mag's assessment of him, he's still alive, right?
He definitely seems to be unconscious though.
Okay. She looks around after listening to Eric's Spider-Man display. Um, they have files on us. This he said I was right twice. I've seen this in a movie. I've seen this movie. She will actually put the gun to the guy's head and like fingers are trembling. Every fiber of her being is trembling at this point. And then bang, shoot the guy in the head.
Okay. Um, the the gun goes off. You all hear it, especially those of you still in the confined space. It's not pretty. When you look up, Rebecca, please take the scared condition. Um,
She'll sit there shaking because she's never done that before. Never. The only murder she knows is the defendants that her parents represent. So she stops. She looks at Mag shaking, and then turns her gaze to Destin like. And she's frozen, trembling. We can't trust him. The files are on us. We're not at home. No amount of Chanel is gonna save me. He's weird. I saw his face. He's weird. I can't.
she is absolutely having a breakdown for the rest of you in the bus.
I look at Mags and I probably have finished with the gauze, but I place the rest of the gauze directly in Mags' hand and like close her hand over it. And I stand up very carefully. Rebecca, come here, please. Okay.
She waves the gun around.
No. I don't care what you did. I don't care what you did. I promise I don't care what you did. I want to make sure you're okay. I promise I don't care what you did. It's me and you. Right here. I don't care what you did. Just talk to me.
Me and you.
Me and you.
She takes a step shakily. You hate me. I just kill him, and then we fell, and I worried about my dress, and
I'm worried about you. I don't give a two shits about that guy. I don't give a shit about that gun. Are you okay? If you're not, just walk towards me. Okay?
she starts to walk toward him.
Can I add a bit to this?
Sure.
You begin to walk towards him, and in that moment, you drop the gun.
Oh.
It does not go off.
Okay, it doesn't discharge at least. Okay.
Does not discharge, but it does slide out of your hand, hit the clatter onto the floor, and slide back towards the front of the bus. The gun is no longer in your possession.
Was there any blood on her from the ricochet, or?
Yes, there would be.
She would raise her trembling hands covered with blood. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not mean. I swear I'm not mean.
No, you're not mean. You just got stuff going on. We all got stuff going on, and it's okay. Because we got to get through this together right now. Me, you, please.
She just curls up and rests her head on his chest and just stands there.
Dustin will take his time to carefully wrap his arms around it. And just like, as carefully as he can, just rock just a little bit.
Okay. After a few minutes of that, you guys will be able to disengage enough to get off of the bus and join up with the other two outside.
Can I have collected that gun while they were having that moment?
And Eric's shoe. Get him the shoe.
Get that man a shoe.
If I can grab that.
Can I ask Bridgett, what is your plan with that gun?
To make sure it doesn't go back into the murderer's hand.
Okay.
Like, this is me staring at a guy that was unconscious that just got his brains blown out. So one, there's a whole moment of just like trying to unpack that. And now she's like having a meltdown over the fact that she just killed an unconscious person. So at this point, listen, God is good. The gun dropped. While they're having that moment while he's stabilizing her, this is going to be like, I am going to pick up that gun and get out of this moment as quickly as possible.
Perfect. Okay. You guys will be able to reconvene. Everyone is shaken outside the bus. You glance up. It's later. It was early morning. It feels like maybe it's around noon now or so. You can look up the side of the hill and see at least a portion of the path that the bus took as it tumbled down the hill. But it's not a flat incline. It's a rather treacherous climb to get back up, and you guys are almost to the valley floor where it's about to level out.
Okay.
And you, Mags, still have a question from earlier that you can ask. Because you have the things that you have in your possession now. You have the rucksack, you have the map, albeit it's a bit torn now. You have his cared badge. Well, Eric has his cared badge. I don't know that he's shown that to anyone yet.
I did not.
That's what I thought. And you also have your information that you got from the radio itself, the repeating numbers and the danger message.
And after I had said some cutting murder remarks to Rebecca, I would have shared all those documents with everyone, like the
With everyone.
medical records, so everyone would have known everything about that.
Yeah, they would have been able to look through all the records and see all the information related
Murder
therein.
remarks.
After the shade remark, the murderer shade
Oh,
remarks.
Eric would
Jesus.
not be okay with it, but I'm not going to spend a bunch of time with it. But no,
Oh, I
I would
love
not be
it.
okay. I could imagine me like, what's going on? Jumping up, trying to see through this hole,
No.
but not being able to because
No, turn around.
yeah.
Yeah, no, turn around.
Okay, Andy, rapid fire questions that you're here just to make sure I'm currently up to speed. And this is half to you, but half also to the table. Because I think for my final question, I'm going to collaborate just feedback from the table. So we have a final question.
That's what I figured.
So I'm just verifying some points. Right before Chase veered off of the road, you said there was a bang, correct?
Correct. I did say that you heard a very loud bang.
Do we know what that bang was? Like looking, does it look like a tire blew? It wasn't like a gun went off. That's not my question. I'm just asking, do we know what caused the bang?
You would be very certain that that sounded like a tire exploding, like a tire going flat, not going flat, but having a blowout.
Okay. So we have the reoccurring numbers, danger, danger, danger. He recognized that code. He called into something and suddenly the tire blew out and that's what caused the incident. Perfect. Second question here, just so I'm at least on the same page here. Based on the map, are we actually heading towards the campsite?
You have, based on where you think you are, you know that you were on 42 heading west. You know that that's the case.
Okay.
So yes, you feel like you were heading in that direction.
Okay. Because I don't know 90s as well, looking at the medical records that we have, are these medical records that would have been on file at the school? Or is this way more comprehensive than what would have been on file at the school?
This is way more comprehensive that would have been on file at the school. In fact, there are numbers and markers in here that you have never seen on any medical drama. It's like, this never shows up on ER.
Perfect. It never shows up on the ER. That's the weirdest thing. Okay, and then I'm just going to run through and verify with everyone. Why did you miss the bus this morning? My alarm clock didn't go off.
Yeah, same. I told them. Yeah, my alarm clock didn't go off.
It wasn't the bags. It was that my alarm clock didn't go off.
Anytime Rebecca speaks, my gaze is like 6 inches down. That's almost like I'm afraid to make direct eye contact with her. So I acknowledge and I nod, but I can't look at her directly.
Dustin would love to say that his alarm clock didn't go off, but he didn't say his fucking alarm clock. They just banked on him not saying his alarm clock, obviously.
So it would be true that your alarm clock didn't go off.
Well, yeah.
Because
he didn't said it, but you know.
It never would have.
Because it never would have. Okay. There cannot be a coincidence between Chase having files, medical files on all five of us, and all five of us happened to all miss the bus simultaneously. It looks like we were en route to the campgrounds. I don't know if that signal was to him or whether that was to us, but the tire is blown out back that I don't think happened during the crash. I think that's what initiated the crash. So I have everything laid out between the charts, the data. I'm reconciling everything. What are we missing? I.e., out of character, what's our final question?
Come on,
you were the only
Max.
one that heard it. You were the only one that heard that noise, the danger from the radio.
Well, yeah,
no one else heard it.
The rest of you are idiots, though. So that's not really a thing.
But we're not deaf.
I'm not an idiot.
Yeah. Dustin has his like smart kid for 2 seconds moment. Like, how much small town vibe does this town have? Like,
it's medium. It's not like, but because it gets a lot of outside traffic due to the Air Force Base, and you guys are close to Pikes Peak, so you get a little bit of tourist traffic. So it's definitely not like small town, middle of nowhere type of things, but it's not Denver, for a better reference.
Eric, it's not that I'm the only one that heard it. It's just I'm probably one of the only ones that would have cared enough to hear it. Like once I pointed it out to Chase, he recognized it.
But you said you couldn't hear him.
No, I couldn't hear what he said into the radio.
This feels like it's directed at you. It's like pointed right at you. Don't you
Or
think?
maybe we just weren't paying attention. I mean, you were fuxing around with the map and I don't know, remember what I was doing, but everybody was doing something. Max was doing what she does best, figuring stuff out.
So, guys, what
Those
are we
numbers didn't
missing?
mean anything. Those numbers didn't mean anything. Those 6 numbers, same
might.
6 numbers. I wrote them down in my book. I'm looking at them.
And so at this point, out of character, is that the question that the table wants me to ask? Is that the table that we want to ask? Is what these
Yes.
numbers have to do with us, the medical chart or anything? Is that what we want to bank on? Or is there another direction we want to go?
We could ask.
Go ahead.
We could ask who's most likely to shoot us while we're sleeping in the woods tonight.
I would like to know that too.
We could ask that.
Okay, we just went left. I thought we were going to go, what we're missing that? Who's the next target? Because we all know how the 90s movies go.
Dustin feels perfectly safe now that Tom Cruise has been shot.
The threat has been neutralized.
The threat has been neutralized.
All right, gorgeous people. We want to go with try to decipher what the numbers mean in context to everything?
Yep.
All right. You like that too, Ernest? Nate, you good with that?
Yeah, I am perfectly good with that.
Everything spread out, all minds and tables, all minds and energy are focused on this. We're going to try to dial into what these numbers mean.
Okay. As you guys are puzzling through that, all your attention is, rightfully so, it's on the medical records, but you soon realize that that's not the sort, like nothing in the medical records seems to correlate to those numbers at all. And you find yourselves drawn back to the map.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
And you realize that as you're going through and you're kind of flipping through, you pull up the map for Colorado Springs and the Pikes Peak area. And you realize that the numbers that you got seem to be a latitude and longitude position. Shit. And that latitude and longitude position, roughly based on where you were, and I will say, I will add this to something that you found in Chase's bag. You did find a compass. You will note that roughly where you think you were when the accident happened and where you ended up now, that there is a small lake on the map that matches up with those coordinates. And Maggie, you get the sense that the danger message was to warn whoever was paying attention about it. Not that it was telling, not that it didn't seem focused on Chase, because Chase had a negative reaction to hearing it.
Shit, I think Eric is right.
What?
Say more.
I think the message I think the message is being targeted to people who know how to listen for it.
So what do we do now?
You think it's danger, don't go there? Or it's danger, go there to escape the danger?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, how far is where we're supposed to get to? Like, is that location where we were supposed to get to? Does anybody know?
The camp itself, or this new location?
The camp.
Lake. Oh, okay.
The camp is a good hour away from where you were. You were only about halfway into the trip, and now you're on foot. It was an hour by bus.
How far from the lake are we?
You seem to be, if you're right with your deciphering of the map, you seem to be about 30 minutes away. Like you know that it's going to be a treacherous walk to get there, but the cabin is definitely close, or the lake is definitely closer. Giving spoilers. Sorry.
There's always a cabin by a lake.
There's always,
usually.
So for what it's worth, we knew there was going to be a cabin near.
It has to be. GM Andy.
Yes.
The bus was on a route 40 something to this camp, but looking at the map, could it also have then turned off towards this lake, or is this something that we could only get to now?
This is something you could only have gotten to now.
So he couldn't have been taking us. I point this out. He couldn't have been taking us to this place because the road doesn't even go there.
Correct.
Oh, my eyes get real low as I again look over at Rebecca.
I think we should go to the lake, Lily says. That's the first time she's spoken up since the accident.
I think
Max,
so too.
what's wrong? Why can't you look at me?
You killed a person 20 minutes ago, Rebecca. A guy that was unconscious, that was still half being strangled by his suitcase or by his seatbelt. So sorry, I'm having a hard time looking at you right now, babe. I don't know. I just...
I thought because of the weird look he was giving me on our way here that something was not right. And with Eric in my head about all his facts and data points and triangulation, strangulation, I don't know. It was just throwing me off. And I thought that, like every other horror movie, this would be the killer. So I figured I'd rather keep us all safe and get rid of the killer instead of us leaving the bus and him following us. I'm sorry if I freaked you out, Max. And I never wanted to do that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Lake, is that what we're doing, guys?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, where the hell else we gonna go, right? Just sit here and wait for nothing?
The fact that he couldn't have been taking us there makes me want to go there. Because something told us about that. But Dustin, before we go, can you boost me up into this? I gotta get my shoe if we're gonna go walking through this. Can you boost me up?
Yeah, I got you. Come on.
I'm gonna
You are
retrieve
able-
your shoe.
You are able to retrieve your shoe.
If I don't, I gotta take Dead Chad's shoe and
Yes.
hope it fits.
Hope it fits. All right. You guys are going to work your way towards the cabin. It's going to take you a bit to pick your way through. It's not an easy walk. Even at the base where once the valley levels out and you're able to kind of get through, it's still pockmarked with a lot of trees, a lot of rocks, and it's just, you got to pick your way through. And eventually you will
Well,
come...
while we're doing that, Andy,
Mhm.
I would love to pull Lily aside and just have while we're walking, have a why are you in this town conversation, because she's new,
Right.
she's in the bus and she's got the stuff, and I'm going to listen for a distinctive click to see if she's a robot while I'm talking to her. I'm going to look into her eyes and
God,
see
is
if I can
she an
see a camera
android?
focusing.
Oh my
But
17.
God.
all that stuff, because I'm going deep into 1997 movies here.
You are absolutely going deep into 1997 movies.
Terminator, I love it.
I'm just
She-
glad that there's no
she very
YouTube
much...
for Eric now. That's why I'm glad for.
She's very much as shaken as the rest of you by this whole thing. She seems to have been... honestly, she doesn't know how to process the information that she's got. When you ask her the question about like why she's in town, she's like, well, mom has been moving us around from place to place for a while now. She gets really embarrassed. She starts talking. She's like, she really doesn't... We were living on some inheritance or something that she got, and she's never been really good with money, and it's running out. And this was where she came as like she said this was the last place we had to go. And then everything would be fine here, but things still haven't been fine. We're still behind, and nothing I do can help with that. So I don't know why we're here. Just mom said that this was the last place we had to go.
I can understand how you feel, Lily.
we're a bit behind at home too. Mom is like talking about it, but yeah.
And you guys will kind of have that conversation as you pick your way through, and the woods will thin and open, and there is an old cabin, or at least what looks to be an old cabin, sitting outside of the lake. You can see a pier going off onto the lake. It's very clear around it with the sun shining down, beating on the water surface. And this cabin is overgrown with weeds and vines kind of curling up it. There's an unattached garage on the side, and you can kind of see through the massive leaves and everything else, you can kind of see where there would maybe be a path for a car to get down here. Definitely off, not, it wouldn't necessarily be an off-road vehicle that would need to be down here, but it's definitely off-road to get here. And Maggie, there is a gigantic satellite dish attached to the roof of this cabin. It runs right along, like the pole runs right along the fireplace on the west side. No, it would be the east side. You're looking at it, but it's the east side of the cabin. And it's giant, and you see massive cables kind of spooling down. You don't see where they enter, but you definitely see them kind of tucked in amongst the vines and the overgrowth that has seeped into this cabin.
Oh my God.
Maggie, what the hell is this for? I've never seen a dish this big.
Outside for residential use this far in the woods? I've never seen one this size either. We gotta go check it out. Come on.
I'll go with.
Okay.
You guys heading to the cabin itself, or are you going to the garage first? Just asking the question.
That sounds like team split up. What y'all want to do?
They always say don't split up the party.
So we better split. Yeah, we better
split up.
There's nothing else we could do but split it up.
Okay, I'm going wherever the cables are leading.
Okay, so that would be the cabin itself.
So I'm going cabin itself.
Okay. Who's going to the garage?
Oh.
Lily is going to go with Maggie.
Okay.
That makes sense. I guess garage. Yep.
Okay.
You know what? Garage.
Rebecca goes garage. Okay.
Rebecca goes garage. Eric, Dustin.
I'm going with Maggie.
Okay.
Nobody wants to go with Rebecca.
No, I follow Rebecca. Like
I figured it was gonna be okay. All right, cool. So you guys will kind of split off as you get to the as you get to a point where it's nice and easy to split off. So you Maggie, Lily, and Eric, you guys will head towards the cabin. We will start with Dustin and Rebecca. You get to the detached garage. It is a two garage door garage. So it looks like a 2-car garage. Everything here, the leaves are all around it. Like there's a lot of detritus around the thing itself. Dead leaves, branches from years past and stuff. You don't see a door leading into the garage. It's just the doors for the opening for the cars to go in, not a human-sized door on like the side of the garage or anything along those lines. You get to the door, and you, Dustin, if you would give me a force roll.
Oh, come on,
to
Dustin.
see about getting it open.
Come on, Dustin. This is you, boo.
All day.
Right. This is what you do. Come on, son.
Let's see how we do.
Come on, son.
This better not be the time you skipped leg day.
So sad. No, he was right. I needed that cardio.
He needed the cardio. He's winded from the 30-minute walk to get here.
That is two successes.
Two
Yes.
successes. You
Let's
will
go.
you will throw that door open. It kind of it slams up, hits the stop, kind of bounces back, and you're able to catch it and push it back up the rest of the way. Inside the garage is it's definitely the shape of a car, but it's got a tarp over it.
Yes.
Um, there are workbenches around in the area. So there's one car, there's an empty bay where the car would be. There's workbenches around the area. There's a set of lights, pull down string for turning the lights on. And if you go and pull it, you do note that there is still power to this garage, and these lights do flicker on. They are a little bit yellow and tinged with age, but they do work.
Rebecca, you turn on the light
Hmm.
and pull off the tarp.
You pull the tarp off, and sitting there is a gray 1988
Whew.
Oldsmobile 88.
Butter.
It's not a wagon, but it definitely will seat five people relatively comfortably.
She would just do what most busybodies do, open every single drawer and start looking at stuff.
You start going through the car. There's an ashtray in the car because it's from the 80s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
um, as you pull down the visor, a key will fall into the
Yes.
seat.
Is it just a car key or is there keys attached to it?
It is just a car key.
She will pause at that point. Hey, Dustin, and tosses him the car keys because she doesn't want to lose them.
Oh, yep. Dustin is totally has totally taken somebody's car. That's
For sure he has. For sure.
We're not going to talk about how we still. I'm just joking.
All right.
Actually, in that one moment when she does toss him the key, she looks at him and goes, "Remember the Bonnie and Clyde days?"
yeah. Your dad was so mad. So mad.
I couldn't hang out with you for like 3 weeks after that.
Worth it. It was worth it. It was worth it.
I agree.
You guys will spend some time looking through the rest of the garage. You don't really find a whole lot other than tools for working on a car, a couple of other just random knickknacks. There's a couple of empty gas cans. Um, you're not sure. The car was tarped, so it definitely didn't. It doesn't seem to have degraded from time. Actually, you can't quite tell how long it's been here. There was a decent layer of dust on the tarp in and of itself, but looking around to Dustin's eyes, the wheels seem okay. They don't seem like they're deflated or flat in any ways. They look like they've seen wear, like they've been used, but they don't seem like they've been rotted out from being here for years and untouched. To the group heading to the cabin, you will approach the steps to the porch, and they're decent ways up. The stairs are old; they creak under your feet as you step onto them. There is a storm door that leads to a slightly enclosed porch section and a giant wooden front door on the inside. You can see a glass window to your left as you're looking at the door that seems to look into a family room. You can see the fireplace off to the left-hand side. Furniture in the room is all covered. There's tarps over things, and as far as you can tell, there's a really heavy layer of dust kind of just sitting on everything.
Maggie, before we go in, I've been thinking, let's just say there's no coincidence here. There's no happenstance. I think something made it so that we would all have to be on that bus. Someone or something. I think someone or something sent that message to you to help. I think someone or something stopped you from hearing what that bus driver, whoever it was, whatever he was going to do. I don't think we're going to be alone in here. And I wish we had that gun right now. Because all I have, and then is a stupid lanyard with this guy's name on it.
I'll trade you a lanyard for a gun.
Oh, I don't want that gun. You got that gun? I don't want that gun.
I don't know how to use one.
Neither. I didn't mean I wanted it personally. I wish I. You don't know how to shoot a gun? How the hell did Rebecca figure? Is she like?
I don't know.
She should have brought her. Okay.
Guys,
but
can
if
we
there's
see if
no
the door's open?
Okay, Lily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am gonna pull out that gun. I'm gonna hand it to. Sorry, getting back to the overlay. I'm gonna hand it to Eric, and I'm gonna make sure that I have my Swiss Army knife drawn.
And I'm gonna try and hand it to Lily, but then
Lily's gonna be like,
and I won't, because I'm like, well, she's got NPC armor. I can't give her the gun.
You
Fine. And then I will look at it and try and work out how to make it fire when it needs to fire.
Okay. You guys, Lily goes to the door and she tries it, and she has a look on her face like she's like, you guys have, it's like a deja vu look. You know the look when you feel like you've seen something or you've been somewhere before. She kind of has that look on her, and she goes to the door and she tries the handle, and the handle, it turns and the door opens. And it wasn't locked. It wasn't anything. The door creaks open. Inside, as you step in, you can see that the place is pretty dusty. Like it definitely seems like it's been closed up for a while. It smells a little stale. It's probably the best word for it. To your left is that sitting area with the fireplace that you could see. Maggie, you don't see any cables streaming in here, but you know that pole that the dish is on is right outside that fireplace. So there's nothing coming in from this area. To the off to the left and over to a bit, there's an entryway to a kitchen. There's a pantry door right on that side as you go into a relatively sterile and white kitchen, and there's a stairway to the right that goes upstairs. And that's what you can see by stepping into the room.
I gotta run down these wires. Depending on what I find, I could call for help. I could get emergency services out here. I gotta run down these wires, and that's exactly what I'm gonna run down.
Okay.
It's just where this input cable is coming in, where the tech is coming into the building.
All right. If you want to do that, I will need either an investigate roll, or I will allow you to make a tinker roll.
I am going to take that tinker for my 3 all day long. With a 5 in tech, guys, I am rolling 8d6.
Let's go.
Trash. 1 success.
1 success is all you need, though.
Oh, we'll take it then. Look at God.
1 success is all you ever need in this
Woo!
game. You get more things with more, but 1 is all you ever need. You're chasing down those wires. You go to the fireplace, you don't see them in the fireplace, but you know that they should be around here. And as you're doing so, you hear a buzz, like a tech buzz. You know that electronic hum that you hear there's a lot of heavy electricity being used, kind of like not the hum of like a generator or a transformer station, but something around that that level where you can audibly almost, you can hear, you can almost feel the electricity in the air, and you kind of trace it and you start feeling along the wall, and it leads you to that pantry door.
Keep singing to me, baby. I can hear you. Come on.
And
Sing to me, sing to
you
me.
open the pantry door, and it's literally just empty shelves that you can see. And you look down, and you see scuff marks on the bottom, on the wood where the inside of the door meets, and they come out a bit. And as you go down and you reach, you see a notch, and you pull on the notch, and a wooden panel slides back, and lights activate, and a ladder, like it's a manhole shaped hole with a ladder, goes down into the basement, the earth. You're not sure. It kind of seems to go down for a while, but as you look and watch, the lights flicker on deeper and deeper.
Eric, Lily.
How is there power here? There's no sound. There's no generator sound, is there?
Not that you had heard, but when this thing opens, you can kind of hear and feel the same thing that Maggie heard.
We're going down. I'm going down for sure, at least.
Wait. Should we call out and see if anyone's down there or anyone answers or responds? It could be dangerous, Maggie.
The lights came on when I opened that door. I think it knows.
I mean, they're just automatic light. I mean, the lights come on in 7-Eleven when I open the door. That doesn't mean...
Yeah, it means somebody opened the door. Eric, it's motion activated. Do you want to call down into the creepy basement and announce us by all means?
It's not creepy. It's fluorescence. There's never a creepy fluorescence. I want to close my eyes and I want to take a really deep breath in this pantry.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to try and suss out engine oil or lubricant or ozone or like anything like that that's not dust and mold and old cabin.
So you kind of sniff around you take the deep breath up above in the cabin itself, and you get the dust, you get the old, and you kind of put your head down into the hole, and it's clean. It's sterile. It reminds you of the hospital in some ways.
Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
Uh-oh. I don't like it. I hate it.
Lily, you had a look on your face when we came in here like you were... Have you been here before? You recognize this place?
I don't think so, but I don't know. It's something. She looks embarrassed. She's like, I get feelings from now and again, and I don't know. This place feels familiar. It feels safe. Not, I mean, I've never seen that before. She stares down the hole, but like this place, I don't get a bad vibe from it.
There's 5 pods down there with our names on them. I might take this gun and use it on myself, and then I'll start climbing down that ladder.
Oh, my goodness.
Point of GM order. Are you involving the other 2 that are outside?
Yes. Let's bring everyone in because I got a feeling we're coming into the 11th hour of the conclusion. So, yes.
True,
Can we just reconsolidate
Reconvene.
here? Yes.
Yes, we can absolutely reconvene here.
Yes.
Okay.
Great call.
Just wanted to make sure. So you guys will all head down, and it's a decent climb down. It's not like 5 rungs and you're at the bottom. No, this is 30, 40 rungs.
Jeez.
And this is deep. And the lights are on as you get further and further down. And Maggie, you're noticing cables kind of strewn behind a mesh metal in front of you. And they just go down and down until you guys stop off into a landing and a concrete pad in a circular room that basically that has the ladder into it. And you see the the cables all snaked, all tied very neatly to the roof of the ceiling, still behind that mesh, and they go back a bit further out, like directionally, you can tell that it's going underneath the lake.
I hate it.
And down at the end, at the very end of the hallway, you can just barely make out what looks to be like a sealed door, like the ones on a submarine with the wheel that would close off section to section.
Holy shit.
Guys, find anybody yet?
Nothing in this area.
We
This is
found
all dusty and doesn't seem to have been traveled at all.
We found a car in the garage.
Oh, thank God.
And the keys.
Does it start?
I tested yet. I don't want to alert anybody who might have been around until I absolutely have to. So
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, you taught me that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good lesson.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
So you
going
guys head
forward,
down.
right?
Yep, you head down the hall. There's that sealed door. You spin the wheel. The door pops with an audible hiss,
Uh-oh.
and you open it, and lights pop on as you flicker in. Not blinding bright lights, but like downward facing lights to light up the room. And this room it's like the chemistry lab at school, only more robust. Like there are file cabinets and beakers and different things. There's a table with all stuff lined out. And as you all step into the room on the left-hand side of the room, flat panel monitors flash on, running code along them.
Flat panel. That's
Uh-huh. This is not a 97 thing.
Whoa.
But that's
And
the same
a-
thing with the lanyard. The lanyard was futuristic too.
Mm-hmm. You may have all been forced to watch Tron by Eric.
God.
Forced.
Probably forced, yes.
Andy, what are you saying?
Forced.
You would
What a
have to have
word.
forced Rebecca. You would have had to have forced Rebecca to watch Tron. But there is one of those like lighted keyboards that's not a keyboard. It's not a mechanical keyboard. It's basically just touch screen that powers up in front of it. And the rest of the room kind of it has like there are papers strewn about, and there's another one of those sealed doors on the back side of the room.
Maggie, is this some future? Have you seen shit like this before?
No, shit like this doesn't exist.
Except for in movies.
Not even movies have had it this good.
I sort of want to poke at that lighted keyboard. They're the most poor ergonomic devices ever. I'll think in my head.
They
I wanna
absolutely are.
poke at it a little bit and see.
She will try to stop him, actually.
Ooh.
Okay. I will allow you to kind of like butt heads there a little bit.
I take the gun and then I put it in the back of my, my back pocket. Like, what are you thinking, Rebecca?
Listen, we can't go just sticking our fingers into all of this stuff. Why don't we look around for, I don't know, a manual or something? We don't know what pressing things would send off, alert people. I just think we really need to be careful, guys.
Can Mags be in the background already turning the handle on the
Probably.
next door?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like-
As she's
Star
looking
Trek
at him like,
Extra.
oh yeah, being careful.
She swings
Absolutely.
across.
Yeah, you say Rebecca, the words careful escape your lips and you hear the click hiss as the door to the back room opens. And Maggie looks back at you like, sorry.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go
Maggie,
right that way.
Maggie, do you step into the next room?
Oh, you know she does.
Okay. You step out onto a catwalk, metal grated catwalk.
What?
The room is deeper than this. And from this top, you can see 9 cylindrical vats. And you have seen Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. These look to be like Bacta tanks.
Oh my god.
I knew it. Eric says.
As you step into the room and the lighting in here pops back on, but it's sporadic. It's like the lights aren't all functioning anymore. You do hear the whir of some machines, and a few of the tubes kind of light up. There's this green, not quite transparent liquid floating inside of them. And you do see a stairwell or a set of stairs that goes down to the floor of this place.
Oh my god. You know we're going
Okay,
across the
so-
catwalk. We got to keep
Yeah.
going.
Yep.
I do want to make sure I check every one of those pods.
Well, you have to get down to ground level to
They're all on
actually
the ground level.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
all on the
Well,
ground
yep,
level.
Then
Yep.
it's a beeline there because
Okay.
it's
Guys, did you ever think if we all have the same blood type and there's all this weird nerdy stuff here that they might be trying to like clone us or something?
Nope, never crossed my mind, honestly. Nope.
You was like, nope, this is what I'm making sure damn
You,
daddy.
you said,
Nope.
Nope. Never in a million years.
Ah, it's ridiculous.
So I'm moving backwards across the catwalk. It's like, yes, it could be cloning. It could be time travel of some sort. It could be genetic experimentation. This could, and I'm already running through my catalog that's doing this weird hybrid of like technological advances that I know that are coming down the pipeline that we should see within the next century, combined with just like pure sci-fi.
Yep.
It's a terrible mixture.
Terrible
and the
hodgepodge of
Jetsons.
It is.
horrible things.
Absolutely.
Or we're on a really bad movie set.
Just saying.
It's a really good one, Dustin. It's a really good movie set. All this
Okay.
stuff looks so real.
Okay, cool. Where's my light cycle?
True.
Well, I'm not willing to
maybe-
rule it off. It could be a military experiment of some sort.
He was military.
That guy was so military.
You guys get to the bottom floor and you're able to kind of walk around all of the tubes. Only 2 of them came to life with any degree of power in them. The rest of them are still there's no lighting inside of it. There are a lot of stuff that Eric recognizes from his time in the hospital. Heart monitors, blood pressure monitors, like all of that stuff he recognizes it, but it's all advanced beyond what he's ever seen in the hospital, whatever his mom has ever talked about. It's all built into this machine. And they're just empty and still and creepy as all hell.
All I'm saying is, who the hell would spend the time cloning us, or whatever you're saying, for me to live in Colorado with a shitty mom who's never fucking home? If they're spending all this fucking money on all this shit, they could have given me better parents.
Dustin, but Pieratt isn't about cloning. That's not what they're about. And
How do
if
you
this
know
is
so
about
much about him?
my dad works for him,
And
does
so
press
does
for him.
and so does Maggie's dad.
Mine too.
Your dad works for Pieratt too? I didn't know that, Max.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Rebecca thinks, did her mom or dad ever say the clients that they were going to go see?
They never did mention who they were going to see today, but you do know that they have represented Caird in a number of defamation or other type
Mm.
of lawsuits.
Guys, my parents have represented Caird before. Dust. Wait, she knows Dustin's family. Like, she knows
Dust
his mom at least.
Dustin has
Dustin?
no Dustin has no ties. He doesn't even know his dad.
Straight up, he's probably masking a lot of that. Like, there's no cloning, there's none of this bullshit, there's no magic, whatever, because you know my life would be better. That's like the vibe he's putting. My life would definitely be better if I came out of a tube or some weirdness.
As you guys are having this conversation amongst these tubes, there's a scream that comes from the previous room.
Oh shit, Lily.
Is Lily with
Lily?
us?
Is Lily? Lily?
Lily is not with the four of you.
Oh,
Son of
fuck
a-
me.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
We didn't pay attention to Lily.
I go dashing off to try and find this person who's kind of like my little sister. Like, fuck, Lily, fuck.
Right on Dustin's heels.
You guys all get back up to the previous room, and Lily is shaking. She's holding a picture frame in her hands, and she looks completely freaked out. As you guys all crowd around her, you see in the picture an older gentleman, you see two older gentlemen in lab coats. One is older than the other one, with slightly graying hair, although the picture's a little faded, so it's hard to make out. Um, they're standing there, and there's a little girl standing in front of them, and it's a picture of the cabin from the outside, right? Just taking a picture of it. And as you're looking at the picture, that little girl looks really eerily similar to Lily. And as you look at it a little bit closer, the guy on the right, who's not holding the little girl's hand or doesn't have his arm on her shoulder, he looks a lot like Dustin, an older, wiser, more confident Dustin.
Dustin?
Dustin has a flashback to all the medical papers that were sitting that he tried his best to ignore. Like, was there anything about Caird on them or?
There was, yes. There a lot of the vaccines and everything you got, those were all sourced from Caird.
No. It's
Lily is beginning to hyperventilate, and she's like, why does she look like me? Why do I remember this place? Why do I know this place? Why? Why?
Rebecca goes and takes her hand. Breathe with me, Lily. In, out. We're in this together. It's gonna be okay. Dustin, do you still have those medical records?
no. I fucking tossed them because they didn't have anything to do with. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I got some vaccines from Caird just like everybody else.
No, they're detailed. Wouldn't they mention anything about parents in there?
Look, my mom never gave me a straight story, and you know how hard it is to fucking read those things, okay?
Just look at the picture. If you and Lily would compare charts, you see there's a reason you care about her.
Because
What
she's somebody's got to take care of, right?
and why do you feel that way, Dustin? Have you ever stopped and actually thought about how you felt? For once.
Look, I don't have a lot of people in my life, okay? That's why I gotta take care of the people around me because if if I who else would I have if I didn't care about you and all of you? Who else would I have?
Lily, where'd you pick up the photo?
It was in this it was over there. She points to an old desk in the corner. Um, and you can kind of see now that you've noticed it, it was kind of back there, and there's a lot of paperwork back there. There's a lot of newspaper articles. Um, there's one about Eric's parents and their car accident with his brother. There is one about another a professor by the name of Silverstein who lost a daughter in a car accident as well. Not the same one that Eric's parents were in. Um, but there's that he lost a daughter and a good friend. It was a another professor by the name of Martin Emmert. Uh, both of the daughter, whose name was Lily, and Martin were killed by a drunk driver in a car accident. And as you're going through the paperwork on the thing, you start noticing um, information relating to blood samples from Martin, from Lily. You start finding medical records, and these are medical records from the late 70s, about around the
Mm.
times a bit before the years that you guys would have been born. Um, and you're going through that, and you all hear a chime, and the monitors on the far wall to the left of where you entered, the code, the green code that had been scrolling through them Matrix style. You guys don't know what the Matrix is. It hasn't come out yet.
But
It
soon.
stops. It's soon, but it's not yet. It stops, and an image pops up, and it's an old man in a white lab coat, graying hair. He clears his throat and he says, "I'm. If you are seeing this message, that means my failsafes have been activated, and Carrot has unfortunately taken the steps to erase my work and everything that that means. I I was not willing to let that happen, and so they have probably disposed of me as well. My name is Dr. Michael Silverstein, and you could all call me your grandfather, I suppose. It was my research that led to each of your birth. It's it's there's no easy way to say this. I lost my daughter and my best friend in an accident. I cared about them so deeply that I wanted to bring them back. And I worked tirelessly with Caird's resources to unlock the secrets of cloning. And I succeeded, but there was a cost to that, to my work. Caird had their hooks into me and wanted to do more than what I had planned. They wanted to do more than just bring people, loved ones back. There was another scientist working on this sounds fantastical, but I've already talked about cloning. He was working on mind transference,
Oh
the
God.
ability to take a person and put them into another body. And well, let's say that he seems to gaze directly at Rebecca when he says this. Let's say that there was a former Miss Colorado who wanted to relive her glory days and who knew some of Caird's secrets from her defense. And let's say there was a reporter, an investigator, who was bribed with a way to bring back his comatose son if he didn't spill Caird's secrets to the rest of the world. Or a security guard who found out too much and instead of being offed was given the choice to have a replacement, have a way for him to continue and have a way for him to relive his life. And he looks at Rebecca, Eric, and Maggie as he says this. This was not what my research was supposed to be for. Not at all. I opposed it vehemently. It didn't matter. The profits, the potential of both technologies being used were too great for the greed of Caird, and they damned the consequences of their actions. No one foresaw a set of scientists cloning a random sheep and getting Congress involved in the ethics. They wanted to remove any trace of their involvement, and that meant destroying the five of you. Lily, I couldn't lose my daughter again. I couldn't lose any of you again. And so I put things in place to try to help you, to give you a chance. My research is stored here. I have a colleague, a friend of mine that I was corresponding with in Seattle. Her name is Dr. Amelia Fahrenheit. Take my research to her with your medical records, with you, with what I've put together. You can expose Caird's secrets. You can get out from under the thumb of your parents who wanted to usurp your youth for their own purposes, and you can live the lives you've always wanted to. I'm sorry that I won't be there to help you. I've done everything I can. You have to carry on. I'm so sorry for all of this. This is not the legacy I wanted to leave behind. You have to go, and you have to go quickly. The fact that this message is playing means that the other failsafes I have that will destroy this lab will start. The only records that can exist are you and on this disc, and out pops a DVD from the computer. You don't have any idea where the disk drive was. It just pops out of the wall.
Justin's first thought is, it's not a floppy disk. It says in read.
Nope.
What? This doesn't make
What?
sense.
Be safe. Be strong. You are more than what your parents wanted for you. You get to make your own decisions from here on out. Live the lives you want to. And he seemingly presses a button, and the screen goes black.
Becca grabs the disc.
Lily is crying buckets. Just tears.
My mom is the Miss Colorado he was talking about. I don't.
No,
Am
we're
I
not having this
free?
conversation here. No, we're leaving right now. You have the disc. The next failsafe is going to activate soon, and I don't want to be here when whatever happens, happens. We're leaving now. We can have this conversation about Miss Colorado and our fucked up parents in the car. Let's go.
Okay.
I pick Lily up if she lets me.
Lily is kind of, she's not comatose, but she's absolutely not fighting.
Come on, Lily. Let's go. Come on.
You guys will
The car.
head up to the top of the facility as you exit the facility, the cabin. You'll get to the top of the ladder. You'll get to the top of the ladder, and you will all hear kind of a muffled boom. And as you step out and around to the lake, you will see a giant whirlpool beginning to form in the center of the lake. You have the keys to a 1988 Oldsmobile 88. You have a disc with a bunch of data on it. You have a name and you have a destination. What are you doing?
We're going on a road trip.
We're going to Seattle.
Yep. Should we go and didn't Dustin get rid of his medical information? Shouldn't we go pick that up on the way out of here? Oh wait, no, that's through the woods.
No, it was the information I found like in the prelude, like, way back, at the beginning of the game. Like it was, Dustin has problems reading things sometimes. We just kind of tossed it, like,
I still have the stuff we got from Chad.
Yeah.
His name was Chase.
Chase.
Hell, Eric.
Chad. We can
We're
have
going
that
to
conversation too.
Name was Robert Parsons.
Who's driving?
Probably me.
Drive fast. It's about to get wet.
Oh God, Eric.
The lake, the whirlpool.
Let's just go.
There's only one way to drive, and that's fast. I don't even see why you had to say it.
Who's driving?
Dustin.
I think Dustin is driving, yeah.
Dustin is driving. All right. Dustin, you have to meander your way up. You do, as you kind of pull out and start looking around, you do see a path that like meanders up the side. Completely, like you would absolutely miss it if you were driving by because it just looks like a weird little turn off and it doesn't really go anywhere, but it does pop you back up out to 42. You're able to kind of turn west and start driving towards Seattle. As you get a little bit further out, you all look into the rearview mirror of the car and you see a set of helicopters.
Oh shit.
Heading towards the location of the lake. And that, my friends, is the end of the Shepherd's Burden.
Ooh. And that, friends of the Symphony, is where our show ends for the night. Thank you to everyone who joined or is currently watching the replay. You are indeed the best part of waking up, and we genuinely appreciate you. GM Andy, this was absolutely delicious. Thank you for coming on to the Symphony. Thank you for running one of your original creations. Hollow, Victoria, Nate, it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Guys, stay tuned. We have additional content coming up. I would post a calendar for it, but I already forgot to sync it, so that's not what's going to happen. So what I'm going to do is say our signature sign off. We hope you've enjoyed the Symphony, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.